Home backup power just got a whole lot more accessible.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Premarket Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos, and welcome to the morning news. I'm happy to be here, and I hope you are too. How is your day going?
My day's going awesome, man. Glad to hear your day's going well too, man. I could tell in your voice.
I'm feeling very newsy today. Just having a good day so far. So thought
That's good, man.
Yeah, having a good one. So thought I'd share with everybody.
Glad to hear that.
We're going to talk news a bit because we're here to bring you all the news that you need to know. So
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of news, man, let's jump right into it. U.S. economic calendar, Peter. What we got going on for today? As we go on day number 2 of the U.S. market shutdown or government shutdown.
Yes. Really not much economic data related to the shutdown, other than apparently the presidential Trump administration is using it as an opportunity to shut down a lot of programs that were favored by the Democrats, cutting about $26 billion worth of programs related to environment and environmental concerns across various states, including a lot in New York, apparently. But in any event, that is not something that really affects the market, though, right? Politically interesting, maybe, but the market is happy to trundle along. As the header says here today on the YouTube, we are at record highs. The market's just like, whatever, let's go, man. Higher we go. Yesterday was a record high for NVIDIA. We had Tesla that didn't hit anywhere near a record, but it certainly went higher. And today, we can look at some of the economic data that might help push it higher. One of the economic data elements that we had out earlier this morning was these challenger job cuts. It's funny, I had this listed in my feeds. I don't think I've ever put this on the economic calendar before, but it did come out at 7:30, and those challenger job cuts, the number of jobs that the U.S. economy lost due to layoffs or downsizing. Apparently, it was 54,064 in the last reported month. I can't say honestly that is a number that I've ever seen reported before. So I thought I'd share it with you since it was there on all the lists. That being said, what is interesting is the actual normal job numbers that we see, which are the jobless claims and new jobless claims and continuing that are supposed to be out right now. That's a little bit of a weird one this morning, only in that it's listed in 2 of my 3 sources, but my prime source, which is normally sort of dynamically updated in the morning, doesn't seem to list the initial job or continuing jobless claims, but my other 2 sources do. So I'm not sure what to make of that, other than I don't have an actual number, assuming it is going to be released at 8:30 as stated. So I don't know. We'll have to wait together and see if those numbers come out. 10 o'clock this morning, we do have factory orders that are expected to come out showing a 1.4% increase, and then we've got one Fed speech. Probably like the last couple of days, Carlos, I don't think that stuff's going to have a huge market impact. So we could probably just watch the market do what it's going to do without worries of that economic data causing big ripples. At least that's my expectation. That being said, there was news overnight.
Those numbers, Peter, are actually, if the government doesn't open, you're not getting those numbers. So on top of that.
Well, and maybe that's why it's not listed in one of my sources.
Right.
So, good point.
Yeah, that guy's on vacation. That guy's, as soon as he saw the deadline was approaching, he packed his bags, had them ready to go. Once the deadline was on, he took a Spirit flight over to Barbados, and he's not coming back for another couple of days, man. He's hoping it goes into the weekend, at least Monday. So okay. He's doing all right.
You know what? I hadn't thought about that. So good point. So that could be exactly what's happening. All joking aside, it would make sense that maybe that's why we're not seeing those numbers. So, So All right, here we are, number free, and the market can just do what it wants then. In news, I had some news to share with you. So unfortunately, I learned right after the market was closing yesterday, I learned that someone I found her influential when I was a kid. Just Jane Goodall died, age of 91. She was doing a speaking tour. Actually, apparently she passed away in a hotel. And I don't know if you've got my screen there, Carlos. You can set her up, but it's funny because I always thought as a kid she was very influential, an activist, and of course one who did research on primates, specifically with chimpanzees, and sort of did a lot of work about understanding their social culture and cues, and I don't know, it was just something that I always was struck. Whenever you make it into the Far Side, when I was a kid, that was the measure of success, right? If you make it into a Far Side cartoon, you know yeah, you made it. That's important. So, anyways, I couldn't find the version. There is actually a version that she signed it. So it's one of those where she actually signed the cartoon. Apparently, the Jane Goodall Foundation was not amused by the cartoon, but she thought it was hilarious. So I like that. I find that a funny story. Anyways, so that's the sad news today. And in other news, if you want to be happier, for those that are Tay fans, you are not getting any rest tonight. Oh, I had more images there for you. So midnight tonight,
That's
her
right, baby.
12th her 12th album gets released. Life of
Yeah,
a Showgirl. It's being released.
$35
So,
for the vinyl. I got my pre-order in at Target.
oh, do you?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, you go. So there you go. Anyways, it's apparently at midnight tonight that's getting released. So I don't know. It's I can't say I've ever bought a Taylor Swift album. I'm not about to start now. But in any event, no, I'm sharing all the news that you need to know this. This is important. And then last but least, if you're interested in what is the most popular
facts.
Halloween costumes for this year, K-pop Demon Hunters. Apparently, that's it. That's the top of the list. Now it may be overtaken by maybe this little sequin number. I'm not sure or whatever bedazzled thing, but yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters. If you're looking for the most popular costume, apparently that's it. So there you go. You can get your kids ready. So it's important
Yeah,
because you need to know
it
this.
is.
Because what are you going to spend all your earnings from trading on? Well, Taylor Swift albums and K-pop outfits. So there you go.
Absolutely.
Very important. I wanted to
Absolutely.
share that news with you. So, and I needed some good news after learning that Jane Goodall, passed away. So there you go. You're
There you
welcome.
go, friends. There you are. All right. Let's hop into our Gappers List, friends, brought to you by tradingterminal.com. Man, I was looking at the heat map of the sectors on tradingterminal.com earlier today. And tech, if you come here, this is tradingterminal.com. You can head over there and get access to their scanners, Atlas, a whole bunch of things. Year to date, man, these numbers are outrageous, Peter. Like, if you stop and look at it, Nvidia 60%, Microsoft 23. Where's Google and Meta? I just saw them earlier here. Which it's funny. Google and Meta, they're not technology companies; they're on their communication services, but
Yeah,
they're tech. Let's
they're
let's
tech.
be real.
Yeah.
Google, Meta, 46 on Google, 24 on Meta. I mean, these numbers are just outrageous. Netflix 68%. I mean, they're not carrying this market. They're throwing it over the fence and then running back like a suicide run, swimming, coming back, picking up the boat and throwing over the other fence. I mean, it's just unreal what this market is doing, and we're seeing that today as things go higher and higher by the SPY again, being led by only the tech sector for the most part, which concerns people a little bit because it's not all around, right? So some analysts are crying wolf, saying, "Hey, this is a fake out. Be careful." But every time we say that, it's just here's a new high and here's a new high.
You know
So it's
what?
just crazy.
Like, yeah, over the course of the last year, Nvidia's gone up like 60%. So, yeah, I mean, I've been one of those. I'm like, how much higher can it go? And then it keeps
Yeah.
going. So, be careful about saying it can't possibly go any higher because the market has proven that statement wrong more
It can.
times than we can count. So, And I'm a
And
short bias trader. Like
right.
I was proudly showing people a trade yesterday, Carlos, that I had where, over, I think I shorted Nvidia at a price of like 180, I was over 188, 188.03 or something. I got short. And that was, pretty much just a few cents off the high of day. And that's fine, but I was doing it very strategically, not on the assumption that it wouldn't go higher. And look where we are this morning. I mean, we've been over 190. So, like
Yeah.
don't think this market's just going to stop because it doesn't make any sense.
It's
That's not
it's
how it
definitely
works.
rocking. No, no, it's not how it works. If you look at our usual suspect, Tesla, Nvidia, I mean, all green this morning. Hood, which has been doing pretty well, green. Just everything, northeast. So it's just great to see. So our gap resistance obviously is going to show a little bit of that. You can see tons of green in this screen. I mean, it's just scroll, 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 and your favorite tickers are probably going to be in here, at least one or two. It's just that's the type of day that it is. So I'm just gonna look at the top three, see what's going on there, if there's anything interesting, and then we'll hop around and we'll see what we can find here. AVGO up 3%, AMD is on here, IonQ. I mean, wow, yeah. Let's look at the top three first. XYZ. Can you make this ticker more difficult? Up
Yeah.
17% this morning. What is this? Dynasty Tech? Is this like an ETF or something?
Destiny Tech
Destiny
100.
Tech. Yeah. What's
Yeah.
what's going on with them?
I don't know what the heck this is. What is this? Destiny Tech 100. It's an asset management company out of the US. There's no company info on it. It feels like it's an ETF. Who
Yeah,
names their company Destiny Tech 100?
an
I
XYZ. Yeah, it's like weird.
But apparently it's an actual company. I don't know what they do. I assume they do asset management. That's the sector that they're in. Uh, but I gotta believe they just run an ETF. I really don't know. Anyways, why is it here? No idea, Carlos. Maybe because it's Tech 100 and the tech stocks, like we were just talking about. Maybe the big holdings in their Tech 100 fund are Nvidia and
Well,
Tesla, and they went higher.
I don't believe them. I'm sorry, I don't believe you. This is your chart. You're down year to date. You're doing something wrong, my friend. If you're down year to date with tech under your name, you're doing something wrong. It's not working out.
You're
So
right wrong.
yeah, I don't like it, guys. Low flow at
Uh,
10 million. So again, it's just I'm not sure about this, Peter. Thoughts?
Yeah, it feels very sketchy. So, you know what? However it made our list, let's you know what? Let's put it in the old truck. Drive it off for me.
We can definitely do that. Let's do that. You're doing
I hear it.
definitely
There it
something wrong.
is.
Yep.
Off you go. All right.
All right, there it goes. Let's move on to the next one. MBIS has been on our list plenty times here. It is on the list again. Nibius Group is Netherlands. Let me see. And yeah, Netherlands, I think it is.
Yep.
So normally I don't watch this one, Peter. I think it doesn't trade very well. But again, they're up again here as this daily continues to rock higher, man. Well, what's the news driving this again?
It is good news for them. They did announce early this morning that they've got a deal with Microsoft for their Neo Cloud. They're going to be providing computing power to internal teams creating large language modules and consumer AI support and assistance. So Nebius has got a contract which is worth as much as $19.4 billion, which is part of Microsoft's $33 billion investment in the sector. So they had announced earlier that they were going to be working with Microsoft and that they had sort of an infrastructure deal. Now they sort of expanded some of the information, and Microsoft has come out and confirmed it. So that's what's got the little excitement to say it's not just, of course, Nebius is going to tout it, but for have Microsoft say, yeah, that's true. We're working with them. All good here. Has got the market in a tizzy. So NBIS, you know, good news for them. Good long-term prospects. Tradable. I don't know. I mean, 1.8 million shares today. That's good. They normally only get about 20 million shares, and frankly, that's that's well above, their average prior to this last month was closer to around 6 or 7 million shares. So I'm not. I mean, it could be. I don't know, Carlos. Tough to say. Could be a good one. Could be
Yeah,
a dud.
yeah, I'm not sure, man. Today feels like one of those days where I'm just gonna be looking at some of the stuff that's been trading well for the last couple of days,
Yeah.
right? We have plenty of those today. I mean, this week actually. So, yeah, I'm not gonna take my chances on this one. If you like it, put it on the list, friends. I'm gonna go look at something else. Run is another one that's not doing much here. It is up 5%, but the pre-market doesn't look great, right? If you look at the pre-market activity here, it just got going around 7:30, and I really don't like what I'm seeing. 508,000 shares traded on the daily itself. It's been trying to break this level for quite some time. The volume just seems pretty light as well. So I'm not a fan of this one, Peter.
No, me neither. As soon as I hear the word run now, do you get the same song in your head? That music that where that run is the only word in it?
No, which was
Do you
this?
know which one I'm talking about? No.
No, I don't.
No,
But
don't
I
do
feel
it.
like I'm
Zen
gonna find
Trader
out.
says, yeah. You'll know it when if you hear it. It'll
Is
get
this
stuck
one
in
of the
your head.
things that once you say it, you're gonna have everybody stuck singing this all day?
It's not even like there's nothing to sing, right? It's just I don't know. It must maybe it's the part of an actual song. I've never heard the
Hmm.
actual song. It's just it's used
Ben
in so
says,
many.
"I get triggered. Don't do it."
Yeah,
Okay.
all right. I'm anyway, I can't even do it, so I yeah.
I don't know
Anyways.
what it is, so I didn't want to try too hard to figure it out.
All right.
So I'm not stuck with that. I already got
Yeah.
K-pop
So
Demon on my head 24/7. I don't need something else.
Golden, you're all golden.
Oh my
Anyways, all
goodness.
right. Yeah, they got an upgrade. Sunrun is a solar company. They got an upgrade today by Jefferies, which says that they think they're a buy actually, with a target price of 21, which is not really that aggressive because it could easily hit 21 today, and then they could say, "See, I told you so." Um, I don't like solar companies. Generally, they're not great traders. Like they have this promise of good volume and movement, and then the market opens and they just wah, wah, wah. Like rarely does it do anything interesting. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not going to be focusing much time or attention on this.
yeah. Um, yeah. I don't like it, friends. Look, I want to show you something, Peter. Have you seen the Billboard 100 lately? This thing has
No.
been here for 14 weeks at number one.
Wow.
Well, not number one, but in the charts at all. Can you imagine being the people that are actually doing this for a living, sitting at number six, right here, number 10? Oh, number
They're
nine. Hey, you did
actually
a whole
doing this
album
for a
about
living.
singing, you know,
Look,
you're, and not just one. They got one,
look, that you know that
two, three. These are all from the same movie, Peter.
yeah.
This is how big this is.
But
It's big.
but these things happen, like remember that song that was like, "What does the fox say?" I don't know what the actual name of the
Oh,
song is,
yeah,
but
yeah,
you know that one.
yeah.
I mean, that
Who
was
doesn't know
written
that
as a
song?
parody by a radio station somewhere in Europe. I don't know, and then it
Yeah,
became like a an ironic pop song. So
yeah.
it's I
It's
didn't mind.
crazy.
I watched the movie once just to I had to see what the hype was all about. It was cute. I
Nice.
wouldn't watch it again or anything.
I watched it like 15, 20 times at least already.
Well, you've got young kids. That
Yeah.
happens.
So,
Don't worry. I saw, a lot of the movies of my kids' era, yeah, 20, 30 times. So, and if you were in the right era, when you had Frozen, you watched that a trillion times. For me, that was well after my kids were older. So for me, it was like things like Finding Nemo and The Little
yeah,
Mermaid, going back a little bit, and yeah, it was things like that. So,
of course, of course.
Cars was after they were older.
Yes,
So.
way after. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
my kids are a little older than that, so I got to go back. We were watching them on VHS. So yeah.
My
In any event,
goodness.
all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. As we digress, let's get back on track. Let's get back into character, like our good buddy Andrew would say.
Yeah.
RCLV was on our list yesterday. It did gap up, sold off the entire day. We really didn't watch it as much because we were busy with some trades with Tesla and some other ones on there, which is awesome. But this one was a good short all day, right? Today they're gapping up slightly, up 6.7, 2.1 million shares traded. I don't know if the fun is over, but if you look at this daily, man, everything has been sell, sell, sell. Even the big gap up yesterday sold off.
Yeah.
Today we're gapping up again. Peter, can we expect intraday action like we did yesterday? This was actually pretty nice. We
I,
just had so many things to look at.
yeah, I I don't think so. This feels like more than a second day play. I mean, it's right now it's sort of mid-range. It is up from it's on our gap up list because it's up from the low that it closed at, but it's still I think it's going to be an inside day, meaning it'll play within the range that it set yesterday, which is as you say, it looks like a big sell-off, but if you really measure it, it's only $1 wide. So uh or a buck 20, buck 30 maybe at most. So yeah, I don't think this is going to be something you want to spend a lot of time with. I could be completely wrong, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I'm on the fence, so again, gonna leave it off for now. If you guys see something granted, please call it out on this one. All right, back to our trading terminals gappers list. So we kind of went to the top ones here. Again, they're not looking great. There's some possibility that they can get going, so maybe some good possibles out of this. And actually, hold on a second. I forgot to update my list at the bottom here, because this is done manually. It just doesn't magically appear. So let me just do this. Delete that. There we go. Get those stickers out of the way so people are not confused. So nothing on the list so far, and then we just have to see. We have to see what else we can come off from this list here. I did see AVGO, which people are mentioning it a lot. So let's go to that one. AVGO, which is a ticker that people like to watch, but I don't trade it very well. But today they're up 3.2, 624,000 shares traded. And I'm not even going to say I don't trade it very well. I usually don't just find my opportunities to take on this one. So, Peter, obviously they're making some noise lately. Increased volume all of September and into October now. What's your thoughts on it? And do you like it this morning?
I find Broadcom a confusing company and a confusing stock, to be honest. It seems to be on the periphery of a lot of things. It's just I don't know. It's just sort of there, but not a go-to for me on any front. Yesterday, it did have a decent move, but I would argue not as good as some other things that you could have watched. I mean, you want to watch, be surprised by a semiconductor company. How about Micron? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, it was
Micron was
wild.
just like,
Yeah.
look at a 5 minute chart on Micron yesterday. It just can't stop, won't stop, baby. It was up, up, and more up. So setting some highs here, and it just kept going. I mean, in the afternoon it slowed down, but it didn't pull back really. So yeah, it was very much a surprising mover. I was watching it around 11 o'clock after we had finished our live, Carlos, thinking, oh, maybe it's going to reverse here, and it just wasn't giving me the signal. And glad I didn't try anything aggressive because it really didn't. It just paused for a little bit, and then mid afternoon it said, okay, I'm feeling good again. Let's go, and off it went. So, anyways, Micron was pretty cool. I mean, and maybe that was partly following the Nvidia move up, but I mean, it had a more significant profile, I think, on Micron than even Nvidia. So, anyways, I think it's better than AVGO. I can't deny Broadcom's got a little bit of movement here today. Yesterday, it didn't make a bad move, but it's not a go-to for me.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely rocking here, guys, in the pre-market. So we see what you're looking at. Because a couple of you guys have mentioned this already, but again, it's just I don't know. Today's gonna be interesting to see what we can pick off this list. That's kind of doing its own thing, and I don't think we're
Yeah.
gonna have plenty of that. I think we're gonna go back to our usual suspects list today. But Peter, let me stop here. What do you like off this list already that we haven't covered? How about AMD?
Well, AMD was only average yesterday. I mean, it was pretty choppy right at the open, and then it did make a move higher, but it wasn't that pretty, to be honest. It was tough. That being said, it did put in a beautiful sort of pattern that I failed to take advantage of. I was a little disappointed in myself on that one, but other than that, it was only okay. Frankly, Nvidia was the place to focus on yesterday in this sector.
Yep.
But I noticed that Bitcoin prices are up significantly this morning. So remember yesterday I mentioned how Bitcoin had jumped from the low where it would be down about 107,000, something like that.
Yep.
Yesterday it was sitting at 112. This morning it's 119. So that's getting close
Mm.
to the all-time highs here that we had previously set, with the all-time high being around 123,000. So, and there's only been a couple of instances where it's poked its head above 120. So, yeah, Bitcoin prices are up, which means you may get some things like ClearSpark Clean Spark. I always get that wrong. CLSK, MSTR, anyways, Mara, those things that track it that may have some decent moves today. They're harder to trade, not a fan. Robin Hood was one that we were talking about yesterday, Carlos. It interestingly chose to sell off, but it didn't do it directly, right? It did it with a lot of sort of pop-ups, gave you hope, and then took it away again as it moved itself down. So it's interesting. It was sort of interesting, tough, not an easy trader in my opinion, but an interesting stock, anyways. Um, what else do I like? Out there, there's a few things that we had been watching that have fallen off that we talked about in the past. CoreWeave was one that a few people were watching yesterday. Oklo, again, not hugely interesting. What was interesting was the quantum space. It also saw a good increase yesterday, whether you're watching RGTI or QBTS or QUBT. Those are probably the top three, right, that we tend to watch. They all had decent moves yesterday, so you never know. Like I said, you just never know when quantum's going to be in play, and you can take advantage of that. So it is worth keeping an eye on them, right? Just or whatever your favorite is, if it's something you're willing to jump in when you see it move. Um, Other than that, my other good buddy was Tesla. And Tesla, like I mentioned earlier, it was Carlos. We played that off the open,
Mm.
and I don't know. I think you got out. I mean, I let myself get stopped out way down at VWAP. Hugely disappointed with how far this moved. How did we possibly know at the beginning, right, that this thing was going to make a $20 move almost over the course of the day? Like
Yeah.
it just ran. It really
Yeah.
did, and. Right, like we were so happy with that first white candle you can see way down there right after 9:30. That was, we were all excited about that big move. Well, what felt like a big move at the time, but look how it gets dwarfed by the rest of the price action. So yeah,
Yeah.
it really motored. So
It worked out well. A lot of us took advantage of this move here. I mean, we had to hold through this pullback, but yeah, man, it was awesome. It was awesome. So, um, yeah, and then Nvidia got going. If you guys remember, then Nvidia turned on the jets and say, "Hey, me too." And look at this. A little bit later, Nvidia had
yeah,
this
don't forget about me.
beautiful, yeah, me too. And boom, there it is. So, just awesome. All right, friends. So on my list right now, as we again try to create a list here, I have AMD and MU, but absolutely, it's a tech world right now, right? I gotta have Tesla, given what it did, and I'm also going to have, man, wait, I'm just tech heavy, but that's what it is. I'm gonna add Nvidia. I mean, that's just what it is, and probably it's gonna be MU in the secondary and Nvidia up, because I expect either Nvidia. My chances of Nvidia and MU trading, Nvidia and AMD trading better are much higher. So I'm gonna put MU on the list. I think it's still worth watching. But MU might not do anything today. We've seen it do that where it goes crazy, does some stuff, and then it just stops,
Yep.
right? So yesterday was the day. You might not get something like that for a while, but who knows? All right, back to our list. So that kind of covers it. We do have Baba, which I do like. Again, CoreWeave is on. There's just so many today. I do have Baba on the list as well. But again, it's just they gapped up. Haven't done any much action this morning here, so I'll leave it alone for now. But I do like watching this one. I mean, it can trade well at times, but we haven't seen that in a while. All right, back to our list. What's gapping down? Let's take a look here. It's not much on here, but let's start with TRU. So TRU this morning. This is TransUnion. TransUnion, I'm not sure what kind of company this is, but they're down today 9.7, 387,000 shares traded. And again, just a big drop for them this morning here. But again, the volume is just not there. Premarket is not looking attractive at all, Peter.
Yeah. Brad, I'm trying to figure out what the news is here. It looks like it's gapping down here. Apparently, FICO, which is what is that? It's a U.S. Or is it government or private? I don't know, but because I know about FICO scores. I don't know who FICO actually is, but apparently the FICO organization, whether they're private or public, has said that there are steps being taken to allow the scores to directly license mortgage companies to produce FICO scores. And that would affect something like TransUnion that does, your sort of credit score management and credit bureau stuff. So,
Oh,
uh,
I know who these guys are. All right, yeah, I was thinking something completely different, but yeah, if they're the the credit score people. It's three of them, right? It's Experian, whatever. This one is some other. I think there's three of them that
Equifax.
do it.
Yeah, there's
Uh,
Equifax and TransUnion.
yeah, and then
Right.
like
So, anyways,
Experian. Yeah, yeah.
so anyways, if these scores, if mortgage companies are able to produce the scores directly and don't need to go through the third parties like TransUnion, that's bad news for their business. That seems to be what's happening. I got different variations of that news coming out. So, but yeah, so that seems to be what's happening.
Yeah, people want to go direct, man. People are looking to go direct as they can. It's kind of like what happened with trading, right? I mean, that happened to our business as well. You had to go to someone before you.
Whoa.
Me and you couldn't do what we were doing now, right? It was not possible. We had to go to someone. So if you can go direct, why not?
Without a good credit score? What are you talking? No.
No, I mean like get the middleman. People want to get the middleman out the
Oh, I see.
way. Yeah, they want to get the
Yeah.
middleman out the way. Absolutely. All right. What else?
Tesla just
RKT
I don't know
is
what's going on
next.
with
hmm
Tesla. Tesla just made like a $10 jump here in the last 30
Elon.
seconds.
Elon tweeting. What's Elon doing?
I, I don't know.
I haven't been on X in
It's
a while, man. I just completely abandoned it. Um, I go in there once in a while, see messages from people. I'm like, oh man, so sorry, but I just abandoned the thing, man. Just not interested at all in all the garbage that's here. Social media and overall, not even just X, but
I
uh,
love I I love going back to all like the tweets and stuff. I'm going to stock twits here and like, here's a couple of people saying, "You morons, the delivery numbers don't matter. Like just focus on the core business," and then the delivery numbers come out and the stock jumps $10.
that's probably
Well,
some. Some haters. People hate. Why people
yeah.
hate Tesla? Like even before
Well,
Elon got political, people just hated this company. I don't understand
I
the big
I don't know
hatred
that
for
that
it.
was a hater. I think that was probably they love the company, right? Because they were saying, don't worry about the delivery numbers, assuming that they would be bad. Who cares
Oh,
about
got
that?
it,
You
got
you
it.
got to look
I
at,
see.
the
Hmm.
fundamentals, and you got to look at the other stuff that they're delivering. Then the numbers come out. I mean, let's face it, they do matter.
Of
Like,
course they matter.
in the short term they matter. In the long term, well, we know we can see this company continue to do exciting things, but in any event. All right, so
Mm.
apparently they came out and the delivery numbers were positive. I can't see. Apparently it was 497,099 vehicles. I don't know what the forecast was. I presume it was lower than that. So here
Yeah.
we go. Yeah, 497,099 vehicles delivered in Q3 versus 439,600 expected number. So they actually exceeded their deliveries. Now, this is not sales. Remember, this is delivered vehicles, but delivered in the quarter. But they exceeded it by 60,000 units, or about 15%. So that's good.
There you go.
There you
Delivers means sold. Yeah, I don't know why delivering is different than sale. Because usually if you go to a dealership, regular car, you go to a dealership, you pick up a car, you sold it, you deliver right there. So I guess they do a lot of orders
Uh,
online, Peter. Is that what it is? What's the difference between
well,
delivery and sales?
No, because it's usually the delay between, purchasing or ordering and manufacturing delivery, right? Like if you're getting a custom vehicle and you're ordering it from the factory, it could take 2 months for delivery, right? Because they've got to put it into the product line, and you want the specific, the red one with these features and whatever. And Tesla has typically had a backlog in that, and that
Mm.
backlog has been very long at times. So, deliveries is important because it's an indication
Because
of
they're backlogged, right? Mm-hmm.
manufacturing capability combined with your sales. So,
That makes
yeah.
sense. That makes sense. See, this won't work like a Toyota because you're not custom making your Toyota. So that makes sense on this
Not
plan.
usually, that's true. Yeah,
You're
if you're
not
buying a
like, yeah,
Corolla,
I want
you're
the
probably
Corolla.
taking
I want the Corolla with the 5-stick shift and and the leathers. You're not doing that. You just give me what you
for
got there. That's good enough.
actually, I should say that my buddy custom ordered a Corolla. I say custom order just because he wanted like the cheapest possible Corolla with a manual transmission. And the dealer's like, well, we got to order them from the factory if you want a manual transmission. And
Yeah.
so he got himself a manual Corolla that's only like 2 years old. He got a brand new, but yeah, like he had to, in North America, that's not, they don't stock those. So I guess you can custom order them, but yeah, you're right. For the most part, if you're ordering a Corolla or a Hyundai Elantra, or something like that, you're probably just looking at the 50 they have on the lot and picking the one that you're going to
Yeah,
take,
picking
right?
your favorite color. Yep, absolutely. Unless you're stuck with something you must have. But you're right. Anything stick shift, you can't find any stick shifts on almost any car here in the U.S. anymore. Everything, if you want stick shift, you definitely gotta pre-order that.
I was
Unless
even
it's like
looking at
a
my,
GT or
I'm
something.
thinking, dude, should at some point when I didn't have my car, should I get a new Porsche? And I'm like, just to find
You
a
should.
new Porsche. There's only two models that offer manual transmission. Even the top of the line, 911 Turbo, which is my favorite. I want, if I'm going to get one, I wanted a 911 Turbo. Doesn't come in manual.
These kids
So I'd
don't want
have
to
to,
work nowadays, Peter. They want to just hit the button and go. They don't want to be
no.
shifting and they don't want to look like a spider. They don't want to do a spider out there. You got your feet, both feet going. They don't want to do that anymore. They just want to hit the button,
Oh,
get
it's
on their
part of the
phones, and the
fun,
car
man.
goes.
I want to,
You know?
I love it. Anyways, all right.
Yeah. All right, friends. Our list is going to be made up of a usual suspect. I mean, there's so much to watch. You can definitely pick your favorites today. I mean, there's just look at this list. There's a bunch. Tesla actually front and center, given what's happening today with the sales numbers right now. So that's going to be front and center for me.
Yep.
And so far, my list: AMD, Nvidia, Tesla. I mean, and I'm very happy with these. So let's go to you guys. We got a couple of minutes to see what you guys like this morning. Let's check in chat here. Pictures you're getting suggestions on what cars you can buy here. Some good ones there from Steve and Alex on the palm tree. But let's see. POTR. Let's take a look. POTR. I love the daily on POTR. That looks nice. I like that. Possible retest of this 190 area. And we know POTR can trade very well. I do like POTR. So I'm going to put it here on volume is a little bit lighter than usual, right? Only 700,000. We'll put it in a secondary for now, but I'll do want to keep an eye on POTR. What else, friends? I'm looking at both of our chats here. What else you guys like this morning? NBIS. We did look at that earlier. It is in play. There's no question. I'm not a big fan of this one, but it is in play. It's been moving pretty well. They got some positive news that's working out nicely. You said Microsoft, Peter, on this one, if I remember correctly.
I might, deal with Microsoft.
Deal with
Yeah.
Microsoft. Again, you got a big name behind you. Awesome. So if you like it, watch it. I just think for my strategy, I'm gonna have luck elsewhere, and I'm gonna go with that hunch, right? All right. Let's see here. AVGO is another one we looked at. This is definitely play. You know what? This is one that typically I don't watch, but I think today it's worth putting on the list, man. Pre-market action is looking pretty nice. The daily's looking great. My only hesitation is same as Peter's, I believe, is just that on most days the intraday can be difficult, right? And how do we know that? Because we watch the stock so much over the years, right? So
Yeah.
that's the problem. That's how we know that. There's nothing. If you're a brand new trader, we're like, what is he seeing in the 5 minute? I can't tell you what I'm seeing. I'm just telling you based on what the experience is, right, with this ticker. So, but today looks better than normal. I do have to agree. Could be their day today. Maybe it can prove me wrong today. So I'm adding it to the list for now, and we'll see where it goes. All right, friends. I think that about does it. Tesla we do have. What else? What else? Two more if we can, and no, we don't have two more. Okay, perfect. We'll stop here. Let's head over to our bearwithtraders.com, and then you click over on webinar so you can see what's happening for the next 2 weeks. But today we'll focus on Thursday. Here we go.
Thursday, indeed, which mentorship day. We've got a couple of mentorship sessions for all of our elite members, starting with the stuff midday, 11 and 12. Lenny provides his trend trade mentorship in the webinar room for all of our elite members, and Jared then will take over at noon and talk about options. So those are our two midday sessions. And then this evening we've got our focus event, which is at 8 p.m. as usual, where Thor, coming from his new crib, we'll be talking Thor's Day, mentorship, and he'll go through his strategies, talk about whatever trades or stocks you want to. It's usually a lot of fun and high energy because Thor usually brings he brings the lightning and the thunder. So it should be a good session. So those are your three today: 11 a.m., 12 p.m., and 8 p.m. If you want to join us at Verbal Traders, as always, go check out the website. You can see the options; they're there. See them, know them, love them. Click them. There you go. Speaking of clicking, how about a little button there if you're watching on YouTube? I'm going to do it right now. ding. There we go. Just click the button if you're watching us. And I know it was funny. I thought it was interesting this morning when I started giving you some news that was nothing stock related. And my goodness, some of the well, there was the lovers and the haters that came out for some of the stuff I was talking about. And I'm thinking, you know what, guys, we can't, all work and no play. Makes you a dull person. So, every once in a while we got to throw in the other news so you know what's happening in the world. There's more than just stocks. But so
Absolutely.
there you go.
And
Look at all the hearts. I appreciate that, people. See, that's thing. This be
I'm
nice,
hitting the
be
like
kind.
just for you,
Love
Peter.
y'all.
See this like right here? This is just for you, man.
Yeah.
This like is for you right there.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
and we're keeping you up to
There
date
you go.
what's in
That's what I have to
fashion.
say.
You know, keeping up to date what's in fashion. I
Yeah.
mean, even Bloomberg does it. They do the 5 things in the news, and a lot of those top 5 things have nothing to do with stocks. It's what purse is hot,
Yeah.
what store is going to Fifth Ave, But it's funny. It's interesting. It gives you something to talk about when you meet friends that you don't have a subject to talk about with. Bring up some of this interesting stuff. You could talk about diamond hunters or demon hunters next. So. Hey, did you know that this movie's top this and top 4 on the billboards? Like,
There
no
you go.
way.
Yeah.
Most watched on Netflix. No way. It's gives you something to talk
There you
about. All right, friends, we're set. I mean, there's so much to watch. I'm kind of like just sticking with some boring regular stuff. AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, EVGO, MU, MPOTR on the secondary list. I'm gonna keep it nice and simple, and we'll see what happens. All right, Peter. I feel like we're good to go. Levels, right? Yeah. Let's do levels,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Levels it is.
Levels it is. We'll start with AMD, which is on my list today. They didn't move yesterday. It's like they were sitting back with the popcorn watching what else was happening. And now today they're looking to get into the party, looks like. Maybe they're a little behind or lagging here. But up 3.1, 2.7 million shares traded, which I like a lot here. Look at the daily. We're breaking out of that. Pretty nice. We just kind of kept banging our heads here on this 164, which is now the previous day close. Just struggled to get above that, even with the rally yesterday on all the tech companies. So 169.95 is the high of the pre-market. The low is just above the previous day close, 165.04. Love this midpoint area here between the top and the low of the pre-market there, 166.76. And you can see here, right? We talked about this yesterday a little bit. Was it with you guys? No, this was with my P Capital group. I was talking about this. This support became resistance, and hopefully this can become support again. And you can see that here. This usually starts to create really good levels. When you get this ping pong action back and forth, the more touches you have on there, the stronger that level is going to be. So obviously, it's no surprise the pre-market high today is slamming itself at 169.95. Well, if you go back on the daily, that is where you had the most activity in the past, right? So you're seeing that there. So usually those becomes really great levels. If we're able to break out of that level, we are looking at 172.18, and then all the way up here at 174 if AMD really wants to get a rocking here. So there you have it. Nvidia is next, another one that just had a monstrous day yesterday, and again just blowing through their all-time highs here, and just incredible. All right, so high of the pre-market on this one is going to be 190.23. That is, I believe, your all-time highs. Yes, it is. And then towards the bottom here, you have plenty highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Got you covered. You do not need to add anything else, right? And then, of course, nothing above the pre-market high because that is your all-time high. So pretty easy there. Let's move on to Tesla. Tesla's just trying to get into the all-time highs party, friends. So here it is. We're not far from it. And now after these jump here with the sales numbers, their all-time highs are, I'm going to call it 488. Peter, if you could look that up, because there could be some pre-market activity up here or after hours that I might not see. So that would be your all-time highs. But right now, I'm showing 488.04. Right now we are pretty close. Actually, this thing is still going. We are at 470. No, that can't be right. Hold on. No. This is high. It's got to be 5. Is it 5? No, it is. Shoot, we're not. Damn. This is close. This is very close. Peter, what's the official all-time highs number? Yeah.
488.54 is the all-time high intraday. Technically, it's 488.53.99. But anyways, 488.54. But yeah, it did actually go higher post or pre-market on that day, but don't
Okay.
worry about it. Really, that's the number you need to watch. And like you said, we're within shooting distance of it for sure.
Yeah, we sure are now. Look at this thing. So up 3%, volume 7.4 million. If you missed it earlier, is there delivery numbers or sales numbers or delivery, Peter? Which one was today?
Deliveries,
Deliveries,
deliveries.
which is again, it's important
Right.
based on the way they do their business. So rocking, and you can see that there, 479, 488 towards the top is your all-time highs there. So I mean, wow, wow, nice. Last but not least is AVGO, and this one again, I don't like this ticker as much, but today's pre-market action, it does have something attractive about it. The way it's moving here, got some good volume, 345 and 19 is your high of your pre-market. The low is down. Actually, the low's all the way down here, which is just right above the previous day close. I'm not too worried about it. You got more important levels. I'm show you here. You got more important levels. Here's the previous day close. Here's your low of the day. This is going to be important, and then this level I'm marking down here is going to be more important. So this 340.91. I'm getting that off the daily. Right? If you look at the daily, you got a couple of days slamming in, so using that as support, a little bit of resistance here, and then major resistance here. Look at that. This thing opens up, shoots up, and then slams down. I like that. 340.91. You definitely want to have that marked down. And then towards the top, in case we do get going here, 350.27. And then you have your highs and lows all over this chart here. So don't have to add more levels than that. Keep it nice and simple. But I like this stock today. We'll see what it does. I think it looks great for this morning. Peter, what is our team watching today?
All right. Well, I'm going to start with my own list, which is NVIDIA, Tesla, and PLTR. I'll also be watching AMD. I know you said NBIS, not your thing, but I'll keep an eye on it there. And Rigetti, I just want to see if it moves. I only have one IPO to potentially let you know about, and if and when it opens, I'll let you know. Thor's got, let's see, what has he got? Apple and AMD and NVIDIA on his list. So those are the three that he's going to be focusing on. Nathan's got the whole Magnificent Seven list and AMD on his list. And really, Carlos, that's it so far. Our mods are, slow to get the list. And Phil just came in with his list, watching Tesla, Nvidia, AMD, and Rigetti as well. Eamon looking for a potential long on NEM and Donkey Kong, DKNG. It's not really called Donkey Kong, but we like to call it that. This is DraftKings, but we'll see what happens. Jared also is coming in talking Tesla and AMD, and he's got healthcare stonks. I was actually just looking at that because I had the heat map up while you were talking, Carlos, and that heat map, my goodness, it's been impressive actually. The 1 month performance has like companies like Eli Lilly and ABBV that are up like 12.5 and 16% respectively. So yeah, some good moves here in some of these stocks. That it's funny when you call up the, I don't know if it's the sizing of our screens, but like your stuff's all in different places, same numbers.
Oh, yeah.
But I noticed,
Like, is your communications over here on this side?
yeah,
Yeah, so when I was on my Mac, this was over here too. I don't know why it does that. Different browsers, different sizes. I mean, I don't know why,
yeah.
what the
I
deal is.
guess
But
it's
yeah,
just,
this was over on that side, which I was having a hard time looking for. Where is it? Usually
yeah,
it
where
stays in the
things
same
go.
place. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, but yeah, I noticed that there's been some interesting growth in that in healthcare. Jared was pointing this out yesterday, that a big growth sector yesterday really moving in healthcare. So it makes sense that he's putting an eye to it today.
Yeah.
Brian, while we've been talking here, he got his list in. He's going to be watching Tesla, Nvidia, PLTR, and of course, he'll keep an eye on what the markets are doing overall. All that being said, if we have a minute, Carlos, we haven't done a rant in a while. I figure we did the news.
Yeah.
Let's give people a rant, just a random rant. I got an email this morning that was my ETR bill, and for people that live in the Toronto GTA, the Greater Toronto area, you'll know about the 407 ETR, and I don't use it often, but look, all the cars I own, which is basically my daughter's cars and my wife's car, I put them on an account. And so I just get the bills and I pay it, whatever. My daughter came and visited last month, and she really just drove through the city to come to Ottawa and back again and used the ATR. One trip, right? There and back, $73. I'm like, now,
Mm.
admittedly, because we don't use it permanently, there was $20 worth of camera fees in that, but still, $50 just to drive across the city. Like 70 is what it cost me with it. But if you did it every day, you'd have the little transponder and then you wouldn't get the camera charges. But still, I'm thinking, do people do this every day? Does anybody live out off the ETR where you got to use it every day? That seems prohibitively ridiculous for a road toll. It's just a road toll. Now, admittedly, it's a big empty highway that I've never seen busy that you can bomb down at 140 and nobody cares. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. That sounds like a lot, man. But again, I live in a place that when I step out the house, there's a
feels
toll. I step out my
that
house,
feels
there's a toll. So,
Sam
you
says
know,
he pays $80 a day. How did like that's expensive, dude. How do you afford that? Anyways, yeah, that's look, I mean, we use it when we go through because driving on the 401, you just never know when you're going to get halted. They've got feeder
right,
lanes and they got express lanes and well, like the 401 through Toronto is like 12 or 14 lanes wide, right? Like per side, right? So it's like a 30 lane highway. It's massive. And but it still backs up to a crawl, so we just avoid it and we pay the tolls. But you're paying for the convenience. I get that, but that seems, again, I'm doing it only once in a while, but my God, if you live there, how expensive is that? That seems crazy. Anyways, all right, enough of that. Let's get
yep,
back to trading. We have some targets, as we said, guys. Whatever you pick, it's not one of those days where we got a lot of stuff that's moving aggressively. We could still get some great moves today, right? Without interference from any big news events. And hey, the euphoria of being at all-time highs on a number of things, it could be a good day. So let's jointly find out what's going to be moving and working together. Whatever's going to happen, Andrew's going to be on top of it. I see him there. He's awake.
yep. Good to
There he
go.
is. Yeah, like it's dark in Vancouver when you've got the reflection in the glass behind it. Can't even see outside. It's like a mirror back there. It is just so freaking dark. So
Yeah.
welcome.
Good
So we'll
morning,
hand over
Andrew.
the room to Andrew
All right,
and
friends.
Brian,
Yep,
and we'll keep going here on YouTube.
absolutely. All right, everyone. Let me just make the switch over here. This is bigger. All right, one sec. All right. Okay. Perfect. Just had to make some changes here. All right. What else we got going on, friends? So we are looking good. I like my list this morning. Pretty tight. Where is Peter?
Oops.
Got you here. Okay. Good. You're on mute. I couldn't hear you at all.
Oh, am I here? Hello?
Yep. No, you're here. Okay. I got you. Yep. I got you.
Okay.
Okay. Very good.
The
Good, good. Okay, perfect. All right, 8 minutes to
So,
market open,
apparently-
friends. 1 minute, 5 minute. Yep.
apparently our room is not populated by a lot of Swifties because announcing
Really?
the album was not a big hit.
Mm.
So, yeah, well, I guess
Uh,
if you're a Swiftie, you already knew. You didn't need me to tell you. I didn't know, but I just found out when it came up in my news feed this morning, and I
Yep.
thought, all right,
It's crazy, man. The amount of money this thing she generates is unbelievable.
she is a juggernaut. I'll give her that. I have to admit,
Right, let's see what-
it's
I'm gonna put my list
Faizan is like,
together.
what's a Swiftie? Faizan, if that's an honest statement and you don't know what a Swiftie is, then I can't help you. It's just don't worry about it. You don't need to know. Continue living your life.
As she Googles what that means, or as he Googles what that means.
Yeah.
AV.
It's funny. Her music is very meaningful to those that love it. But she's like a lot of artists before her, where frankly, I can't tell the difference between one song and another, but it doesn't matter. It's not written for me. So, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You
know what it is,
It's
Peter?
just-
It's I hate to say it, man, but it's the work ethic. I'm telling you, and that's what's like more.
Yeah.
That's what's impressive to me. Like, you know how long she's been doing this for. Like, you got to go back.
Oh, yeah.
She was like 16, album after album after album, and then she hits. And that happens with a lot of people too. Like, if you look at these YouTubers, Mr. Beast, Marcus Brown. These guys, You look at their first videos,
Yeah.
they're kids. They're kids that now are blowing up, right? And they just never stopped. Since they're like,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah. It's
MKBHD. You see his first video teaching like old people how to use Windows, and he's like this skinny, scrunchy little child on YouTube, right? And now he's like the biggest tech reviewer in the world, right? So there you go.
Fame usually seems sudden to most of us because we're
Right.
not there for the early stages, right? So
Exactly.
you only
So
and that's the
yeah,
definition or the nature of fame, right? You only sort of suddenly you explode onto the scene, but that explosion usually requires a hell of a lot of hard work and a lot of grind behind the scenes. That's just
yeah,
that's life. So you know what? Trading, there's a good analogy, and there's a reason why I brought it up. That
absolutely.
there's a good trading analogy, right? You're going to grind away a long time before suddenly, and again, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter if anybody knows about it, but suddenly it starts to work. And you never know
yeah,
when that suddenly is going to be, right? It's almost a mysterious process, but it's a combination of hard work and focus and your ability to just, sort of bring the different elements together that you need to be successful. And for some, it happens sooner than others, and for some, unfortunately, it just doesn't happen at all. And
yeah.
again, much like fame. So
Like,
it
I
is
can
what it
imagine
is.
new people coming in and they see Andrew trading. They're like, "Oh my goodness!" Well, were
Yeah,
you
yeah.
they weren't here when he
He
was
makes it look
trading for
so easy. Oh
$150 a
yeah,
day. He was like 150. I'm like, and we were like, oh, because we were not making any
yeah,
money at that time. And he
absolutely.
made 150. We're like, yeah, we're happy. And then he made
Yeah, I
300.
know.
And then
Oh yeah,
that was 8, 10 years
I'm
ago,
telling you.
right? So
Oh
it's
yeah,
just it takes time. Takes time.
absolutely. Again, I go back all the time, Carlos. I will hold on dearly to the memory of Andrew going on this massive rant about how nobody
Yes.
needs to make more than $800 a day, right? You can live off of that if you just make $800 a day. Nobody needs more money than that, even in Vancouver with its
Oh
high prices
yeah.
and blah blah blah, and on he
Oh
went. And now look at
yeah.
him, right? Now he's
Yeah.
now he's pulling in like,
But I
20,
regret
30, 40 times that.
not recording a
Oh,
lot
I
of
know.
those sessions, man, because we would be laughing right now. I
I
regret
know.
not having those
Oh
recordings. We
yeah.
got a couple here and there, but they're not good quality. That we definitely should
Yeah.
record more of that. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways. All right. I'm definitely keeping an eye on Tesla just because with the delivery
Of
numbers and
course.
that
Mm-hmm.
pop with the volume, of course, is in it. And I think I don't know whether it's going to go up or down, to be honest. No idea, but it's definitely worth watching. Almost 11 million shares traded already. Nvidia, I think, is another one to watch. I am going to keep an eye on this NBIS just to see what it does. But I don't have an open target today. Like yesterday it was Nike that I was watching right at the open with the plan. I don't have anything with the plan right here at the open.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, and I've got to get the I just heard Brian in the chat room mentioned the order map. I've got to get the order map open here. The Atlas open so that we can
Atlas.
the order book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know what stock I'm gonna put it on Tesla to start the day
Yeah, I
here.
think that's the one that is gonna be front and center for me. It's gonna be wild. I assume that starting out here is going to be insane.
Yeah, could be a little crazy. So we'll see what it does. And again, don't assume the direction here. I feel that
Yep.
Tesla could go either way. All right. Oh, Robin Hood. Hood just popped up on a little bit of volume. Maybe I should put AVGO here just because other people were watching it. I'll throw it in
Why?
the corner here.
I
I don't
gotta
think.
remember my settings because I fixed it yesterday to what I liked, and then now I can't remember what it was that I was messing around with.
Hmm.
So when I do it next time, I gotta keep in mind what is it that I
Got to
did.
save them properly.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if you could save. Can you save this thing? Does it save? I don't think it saves. I think it's just when you open it, just goes back to what it
Oh,
was.
oh, you mean the
Or
the order book settings? Yeah, I don't. That's a good question. No, yeah, I think it does. I think it just has a default. You're right.
yeah, because my sensitivity was definitely higher, and it's back at 1. So that's something I'm sure they're probably working on, right? All right. Here it is, friends. Almost there. 15
Yep,
seconds to the market open.
almost. Woof. I'm excited for today.
Before
Let's
yeah, I
see what's
am,
gonna
man. I am
happen.
too. That's why I got a tight list. Very, very tight. Not a whole lot to look at because I don't think you're gonna need that much stuff to look at today.
All right, here we go. Here's the opening bell. Let's see what we get.
All right. Let the madness begin. Oh, all right, let's see here. All right, so Tesla. Where's Tesla? Tesla. Here we go. That's my 1 minute. Good. All right, friends. Again, only 1 minute trade takes the 1 minute engulfing, so we'll look for that. Other than that, I'm waiting 3 minutes after the market open to take any opportunities, view at breakout or a 5 minute ORB. So patience, patience, patience. Don't gotta rush
I
anything.
I'll admit I did try a quick short on Tesla, but I got a terrible
Mm-hmm.
fill, and I just got myself out at break even because I don't know what the
Ah
heck
man.
Tesla's going to
Yep.
do. I don't want to, yeah, because again, it could pop up higher. I just saw it, I saw
Yep.
it sitting there, and I thought, well, maybe this is.
Yeah, an engulfing pattern on Tesla, man. We come back up here, we engulf under 1 minute. That'll be a beautiful long I'll be looking for. But let's see. Right now, not looking that way. We
I
still
did
got
go
a lot of
short,
time. You did go short again?
yeah, and then I just got out again. It's a little too choppy for me. I'm not
Yeah.
comfortable with this trade, so I got short, took a partial, it came right back, and I just stopped
Yeah.
out. So I think this is, it looks weak. It looks like it's going to go down, but in the meantime, it's bouncing like a over a
Mm-hmm.
dollar here on
Yeah.
the bounces, and that's just too much for me. Nvidia's pushing higher though.
Let's see here. 15 seconds left for this candle. PLTR, good engulfing 1 minute to the downside. That's nice. It's a strong sell-off. You know what? I'm going short. Oh, bad fill on PLTR. Damn.
Mm.
I went short PLTR, but I got a horrible fill. So stop loss one. It's got to be 187. I was planning for the stop to be above the VWAP, but my fill is so bad, man. So we'll have to stop at like 187, unfortunately. So 1 minute engulfing here. Let's see if we. Okay. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Wow.
whoa. Very nice. All right.
Oh
So
wow.
partial. Um, you know what? This is recorded on YouTube. I gotta go back and look at that. Why did I mess up on that field? That field was really bad. Like compared to what I was seeing and where the triangle showed up, I'm like, what happened? But it's okay. It's working. I'm gonna take another partial. We are almost at $1 down here. Okay.
Wow. Nice.
Let's see if we can. It's coming back. Stop is at break even now, guys. I'm not gonna play around with this thing. So,
Yeah.
oh,
It's
we're testing and coming right back down again. We'll jump all out if we need to here. We'll love another leg down, but it's struggling. What did Tesla end up doing?
it's just chopping around
Just
here,
chopping
really.
around, huh?
Yeah, it hasn't really picked a direction, so
We'll get something on Tesla. We just gotta be patient, guys. We'll get something, either a 5 minute RB breakout or a um a breakup if it's gonna be strong. But I think right now people trying to figure out, hey, where are we going? I personally like it for a long above the VWAP, but let me manage this PLTR trade for now. Oh, what did I do? Make that. Oh, I double click on the wrong spot. Okay, I'm out of it. Yeah, so I'm out of it. I think it's gonna mess around here a little bit, but a good drop. We got almost $1 on it, so that's not bad. And then Tesla. Let's see what we got going on with Tesla here. Yeah, I like Tesla long above the VWAP, Brett. So if we can get above the VWAP here, there's an opportunity that we might squeeze, not squeeze, but we might push higher towards that high of the
I
pre-market, right?
I'm still short bias. I'm still short bias in Tesla. I have to admit, I've gone in
Yeah.
again for a third time here, short. Just took a
Mm-hmm.
quick partial, stop aggressively once again at break even. I think it's going to go short, but I just know the
And you
propensity
might
of
be
this stock
right,
to
man.
pop
But
higher.
maybe stop
Yeah,
above the
and
VWAP, less shares, Peter, just to kind of ride the VWAP. I mean, I don't know.
here we go.
Are
There,
you still
another
in it?
partial. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
good, good.
So I
Oh, do you
just
say
took
you got
another
stopped
partial.
out
I
again?
can
I
I can
I
see. Yeah,
misunderstood
I
what you said.
should. Yeah, I can share here. I've got it on my screen if you. So that's my third poke at it.
Yeah. Oh, now you're getting it, Peter.
And
Now you're
now
getting
it's
it.
moving a little
There it
bit.
is.
It took a come on, let's go. I didn't what is Andrew trading? Andrew's trading
See.
AMD. Oh wow, he's got a big push higher in AMD there.
Oh, PLTR is
Oh,
gonna go. Oh, PLTR, my buddy. Yes, it's gonna drop. You can see it.
okay. I unfortunately I took a pretty small size on Tesla because I didn't like the risk profile,
Mm-hmm.
but green is green, so
Yep.
we'll take this money. Andrew is trading AMD long. He got into that.
Nice. Let me see. Where's Andrew's screen?
He's good at reading those moves, eh? Here we go.
All right. Nice VWAP breakout.
Here we go.
Nice.
All right, so I am continuing my short here on Tesla.
Wow, Peter, that's a nice short, man. Very nice. Very nice. Oh man, PLTR was so good. The entry messed me up. My entry was supposed to be a little bit high. I would have still been in this trade and not stopped out of break even on PLTR. And you can see the weakness here is going lower.
All right, took another partial down here at 242. Again, I'm really thinking that this is just going to bounce and go higher. I mean, the delivery
Yeah.
numbers were good. I just thought maybe it was overdone on the pre-market. That partial was because if you look at a well, I've got this 2-minute chart that excludes pre-market, and that is basically the area of the high that we had hit yesterday, right before the close on Tesla. So I think that's a good bounce area. You can see actually
Yeah.
on my chart, you can see that dotted red line is the yesterday's high. So took a
Mm-hmm.
partial right there. I wanted to get below 462, but I wasn't going to risk a big bounce. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm
Oh
so low
man.
on shares. I just need to hold on and wait and see what's going to happen. PLTR.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you just hit previous day
Yeah.
close on PLTR.
No, but I'm
So
I'm not in it. I got stopped out of break even. Um,
oh, did you?
yeah, I did,
Oh,
man. I did. I took two
oh,
partials.
I see. Okay.
You know, my entry was so bad, man. I'm expecting to get in more of this pullback, and I knew it. The minute I got in, I was like, "Oh, it
Right.
sucks," right? And it came up, stopped me out of break even.
Yeah.
Um, and then I just don't like it for going back in here. It's just not a good risk to reward situation, right? So, uh, not jumping back on that trade. Someone asked me earlier, why do I like Tesla long? So yeah, so when it was here, I like Tesla long, and just be careful when we say that. I'm not saying go long now, right? We're saying when we like Tesla long, we still gotta wait for our patterns. Our patterns is the VWAP breakout, 1 minute RB, 5 minute RB. Just because we like something long or short, we gotta wait for our strategy and pattern. That's what Peter did. Peter liked the short, and he waited for a pullback every single time before he tried his strategy. And then Peter, you knew your first 3 shots or 2 shots were stop at break even. So you didn't lose anything on those
Yeah.
attempts, right? So he
No.
has a strategy, right? You got to have a strategy. Um, it's not just I like it long, go long. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I still like
And
Tesla long. I still like Tesla long. Not right now. Above the real. I like this stock for
yeah.
a long today. But we need our strategy to kind of be in there, right? So
Right. Right. Exactly. And my strategy is sub-optimized for maximum profits. I know that. I know it, but I've made it, I've designed it if you will, to manage my anxiety, right? Because I'm not a competent open trader yet. I'm working on it, and you guys have heard me say this to you for the last, month or two as I've been working it through. So I'm going to be very risk adverse on these entries, and I'm okay with that. I know,
Yep.
right? If I just got in and just held, I could have held my initial short, and it was actually a better entry than the one I got that worked. But just the risk in the interim was too much for me. So that's why I just, I'm happy to, commissions are relatively cheap. You can get in and out as many times as you want. So I'd rather get out at break even, wait for another opportunity, even if it worsens my position in most cases. So
Yeah. Heaven's asking, so if I'm giving trading or investment advice, actually, I'm giving neither. I'm telling you what I do. That's it. This is
yeah,
what I do. You like it, use it. You don't like
yeah,
it, don't use it. It makes no difference to me.
yeah.
But hang out with us here and have fun either way. So that's the most important thing. Hang out, have fun,
I
learn something great. But we're here to keep you company,
yeah.
you know?
And hem, it's a good question. So if I have anxiety, does that mean I'm an emotional trader? Yes, especially on these types of trades. And I don't think you can ever be completely unemotional, right? Like that, then you're a computer. And computers aren't always the best at making trading decisions either. So there's got to be a combination, right? I don't mind emotion in trading as long as you can manage it. What I'm just very conscious of is that I'm not yet very good at managing my emotions at the open because I'm just not as confident in the trades. I don't have faith in my trading system yet. Like I have faith when I get a mountain pass, I can just enter and I'm like, I'll just wait for it to work, right? But those are my trades later in the day. Um,
Peter, you're still in
you know,
Tesla,
I
right?
oh yeah,
Okay. All right. Good,
yeah.
good. I'm sure we're getting to the previous day closer, man. What a sell-off we're having, friends. PLTR. Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna take my
awesome.
whole trade off here at the previous day close, I think.
Yeah,
Because I don't have many shares left. As soon as we get below, as soon as this thing goes red, I'm gonna take it all off. We're pretty
yeah.
close here. Just because that exceeds my original target, and we may bounce here. Right? We'll see. If it bounces, then maybe that's a chance for me to add into this. But if we spike lower, I'll get out at any sign of a pullback. So
All right. Did you guys take PLTR with me? And more importantly, did you stay in it? I wonder if you guys stayed in it so you can be taking advantage of this drop we're getting here. Hopefully, you had a better entry. You stay, Allison. Great job. Nice. I love when people make money. Good. Who else? Anybody else?
beautiful,
But just got out. You just got
beautiful.
out previous day close. That's fine.
Look at
Nike
this.
long. AMD crushed you. Why? What AMD? How did you trade it?
Wow. Look at this thing, man.
Yeah, Peter, you're. I won't even parse until like next week, man.
Well, I said like as soon as we go red at any sign of a pullback, I'm going to just take my whole trade off. But we haven't had any sign of a pullback. So and this is a good example of where I'm much less emotional now and able to manage this trade at this point much more effectively than I was early on. Like look how many partials I took up above. Look how long I'm waiting now. Right. So and I know that about myself. So, I'm tailoring my strategy for how I know I react rather than try and be a perfect trader. Perfection is not necessarily your path to success
Yeah,
long
this
term
doesn't
in day
work.
trading. It's
It doesn't
about
work.
managing you and who you are. So I'll acknowledge my failure points, right? Because unless you face them, you can't do anything about them,
Wow,
and then
Rigetti.
incorporate that into my trading. So this is great. As I said, I don't have many shares left. Like I've only got like 20 shares left on this thing. So
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just gonna take them all off if this thing bounces. But I mean, look at
Yeah,
this. We're not bouncing at all. This is just
yeah, yeah. Rigetti took
uh,
off here, friends. If you were watching, Rigetti took off as everything else. Um, Again, the wheels are not falling apart. Tech is up so much as we've been talking about it all morning. We're just kind of getting a much needed pullback. Look at PLTR go. Yes, 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 yes. Ah, so good.
yeah. So the question,
So
Carlos,
good.
is would you have considered getting back in when you saw PLTR not
No,
moving higher?
no,
No, eh?
because the my I thought my entry was pretty bad already. So now getting in
Okay.
here, see this middle zone. I don't like this middle zone, man. Oh, let me show you. This middle zone here,
I
I
think you're
don't
looking
like.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like this middle zone. Like from the low to the VWAP, this middle area can be very, very tough, right? So getting when I saw it to get in here for the confirmation, it's not good. It's not good. So it worked out. It worked out, but I don't like those trades. The risk to reward is just not in my favor, right? So, but this one worked out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Like I always tell people, you can't cover everything. Just do what happens more often. Plan for that. Because like you mentioned, Peter, you can't be perfect in trading. It's just not going to work. It's just there's
Yeah.
no way around it. And it's so easy to
All
go
right.
after the fact to start looking at, oh, I could have done this, could have done that. It's so easy to
That's
do that.
that's brilliant. All right, I got all out of Tesla. It did finally it bounced and pulled back a couple of bucks. So
Nice, great trade, Peter.
yeah, I'm very happy with
Great,
that.
great, great
That worked
trade.
out
Yep.
quite well. So
Um, have you seen the video? There's this cop. He pulls somebody over. He's on the side of the passenger side. He's giving her a ticket, whatever. And it's a turn, and this he pulled over a BMW, and this other BMW is it's a teenage driver. The guy's going at 120 miles per hour on this M5, whatever, M3, and he tapped. I
okay.
guess when he saw the cop lights, the person pulled over. He hits the brakes, and this car goes out of control, goes over the grass in the divider, and literally comes right towards that car that they're parked and hits the car. The cop, by the time he sees it, he starts running. Instead of running over um the divider, not the divider, the protection, he runs towards his patrol car, where the car is actually going to. Thankfully, he
Right.
survived. The car just barely tapped him. It's a miracle. You guys see the comments in this thing. Well, why didn't he jump this or why didn't he do that? Yeah, it's easy for us sitting here, in our comfy chairs, deciding what he should have
Yeah.
done when his life is on the
Right.
line and he's got it less than a second to think what to do. Right? Your mind's not,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's like going back and looking at, well, I could have done this, could have done that. No, when you're trading, it's a whole different ballgame, right? It's very, very difficult. Um,
There's a yeah, it's a great statement, Carlos, and you're absolutely right, right? It's so much easier to critique after the fact, and when you're not under pressure, you look at it and you say, well, it's obvious what you should have done. Maybe it
right.
is, but when you're in that moment, it's not so obvious. And keep in mind, you also have a very different perspective, right? Like, as soon as you panic, there's these physiological things that happen where your sight literally narrows and you don't see as much. You literally just see what's in front of you. And I've experienced that
Hmm.
a lot in trading, where, you'll narrow right down onto the candles and the price action, and you look later, you're like, well, I clearly, why didn't I see the market moving, and why didn't I
Yeah,
see my 5 minute chart, and why didn't I, it was all there, but you could not see that, right? You just became laser focused because of that pressure. And if there's a good movie, the what's the movie with Tom Hanks there, The Miracle on the Hudson, or is that what it's called? Anyways, where they have to land the plane on the Hudson,
Sully,
and I like
Captain Sully.
Sully. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
it's called Sully. The event was, I guess, just called The Miracle on the Hudson. But that movie Sully, there, I think there's a great scene when he goes in front of the board and they're like challenging. They said, well, in our test, we've proved that you could land back at the airport. You didn't have to land in the river, and they're raking over the coals.
Oh
He's like,
yes,
yeah, but that
awesome
wasn't
scene.
real world conditions, right? So, and then
Hmm.
when they dig into it, they realize, well, yeah, first off, you didn't put decision time. Like, your pilot knew immediately what they needed to do, right?
Hmm.
Bird strike, immediately turn around, head back to the airport. I had to figure that out. So that took me 30 seconds or whatever they they said. But and then they also reveal, well, yes, and our test pilot 18 tries, and they got it right the 18th time, right? Well,
Yeah,
real life, man, you got one try.
that's
So,
it. That's it.
and I always think of that because I think about trade. You got one try, right? And it's never as easy as you'd like to think. Even doing test accounts and doing it in simulator, all that stuff is good. It's good practice, but understand it's only a rough approximation of what the real life trading is going to be like. Emotionally, how it's going to be, put the pressure on you, how you're going to react. it's you can't really, approximate it. You've got to actually do it. So,
100,
yeah.
100%.
All right. So yeah, that's a good
What
start for
what they
me.
should
I'm
do
really
is if they really want to get an actual test, put them up in a real plane and cut the engines out, see how they make out. Right, to do it like that because again, it's easy to sit. I got a simulator right here. It's easy for me to sit here and do
yeah,
all this stuff, right? And no, I'm not dying, right? So
yeah,
yeah, put them in a plane, a real
yeah.
plane, in some desert area. Here you go. Let's see how you do.
I can't imagine what would go wrong with
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
has an opinion. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, France market continues to sell off. I'm just waiting. I don't have any strategies here that I can take at the moment, so I'm just being patient. We got a decent win, small win. We definitely could use more, but a small win on POTR, as you see here, partial, partial, beautiful. I mean, this is just these 1 minute engulfing pattern, guys. I'm telling you, I don't trade them enough. I really do not trade them enough. But look at it here again. Another one today. We had one yesterday. Look at this beautiful short. My entry was not the best. I wanted an entry up here, stop loss above the VWAP, partial, partial, and then out, and then just look at the continuation. Then Peter, your trade so far on Tesla. Walk us through it. I got your screen up.
Yeah, so it took me 3 tries at it. As you can see on what I'm sharing, I've been trying to go short all morning. I went short the first minute. Didn't get an immediate breakdown, so I just took the trade off at break even. Tried it again in the next minute, thinking it was going to drop. Got a partial at low of day, and then it came right back up. And again, I stopped out. I'm very aggressive at putting my stop to break even, just to try and avoid the big pops that I know Tesla can
Mm-hmm.
do. And then when I saw it retest the VWAP, as you can see in minute number 4 of the market, and then start to fail, that's when I went short. Didn't get as good a fill as I wanted, but it worked out as that was the drop. And once again, sort of partial at low of day, partial at significant levels. And then my all out was here just a couple of minutes ago when it moved red. And then I finally saw it pull back by a couple of dollars and yeah, got myself out of the trade. So very happy with that trade overall,
Yep.
right? Or the trio of trades. And
Mm-hmm.
I followed my rules, and that's more important than anything. I firmly believe, right? I followed the rules that I established for myself. Is it an optimal trading to maximize my profits? Absolutely not. But it did minimize the risk, and it allowed me to calmly retry the trade without facing like some big losses, for example, or hanging through biting my nails, which is not where I want to be. So yeah, I'm happy overall with that.
No, man, it's a great, great trade. As we see things continue to collapse here, guys, SPY, Q's down. Is it settling in that, things are not as good as the market's making them seem? What's uh what's taking place?
Yeah.
We look at the SPY here.
Uh, Yeah, I mean, we have to
Nah,
keep in
yeah,
mind that we're still up, right? We
we're
we
still
we gapped
all-time
up this
highs.
morning.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So, let's not panic, people. We're
yeah.
it's all good. But yeah, but we're definitely down from where we were pre-market.
hmm
But yeah, it's still looking pretty good on the day here.
That's a great question. If someone's following all the rules and still not making money, what could be the reason, man? It could be a million things, right? It can be something as simple as
Yeah.
that person is just not this is not for them. It could just be as simple as that, right? But
Yeah.
to give you a more defined answer, without looking at everything this person is doing, it's hard to tell, right? Because it could be their strategy is not right. You need to have a
Yeah.
winning strategy, a confirmed winning strategy. You need to be able to trade that strategy properly, and then you need to have rules that make sense. And then we need to look at your discipline. At least those 4 things we got to look at off the top of our heads. Okay, what are you doing in these 4 areas, right? And then obviously, clearly something there is not clicking right. We don't know which one it is, but it could be so many different things. And it's for some people, they could do everything right, and this business is just not for them, right? There's going
Yeah.
to be some of that, right? And that's
I,
okay. And that's okay.
I would also say, when you say you're following all the rules and it's still not working, make sure that when you make that statement, it's over a significant enough
Period of time.
period of time, number of trades, I guess is what I'm trying
Hmm.
to say, that it's statistically relevant. Because sometimes, you can say, hey, I built the strategy and look, I've been trading this all week and I haven't had a single winning trade, or, I don't understand, it's just not working. It could be that week or that group of trades. Like we always say, the reality, and this is the part that people don't like, 60 to 100 trades, 60 to 100 trades. I don't care over what time period that is, right? But that actually followed your rules is the minimum you need to be statistically relevant as to whether your strategy works or not. That's hard to do, right? To trade the
Yeah,
same thing 60 times
takes a
while
long
following
time.
your rules each time. And I don't know if you might get five trades a day, you might get one trade a day. It doesn't really matter. But again, following your rules every time, that's the important thing. And not just, you know, it's not 60 trades amongst 140 that you took, and you're going to take the 60 that followed your rules and then measure against that. Again, that's you're ignoring a whole lot of data where clearly you didn't follow your rules 180 other times, right? So,
Hmm. Hmm.
it's really really hard to get 60 to 100 trades following your rules to really indicate what's working and what's not. And in that
Yeah.
process, you're going to learn a lot about yourself, right? Can I actually follow my rules? Do my rules make sense? Do I enjoy trading this style? Is it a natural style for me, right? How much effort do I have to put into it? Like you're going to learn a lot through that process. So it's as important as the actual data you're going to get at the end. So anyways, if you are struggling, I would say absolutely, don't be afraid to spend the time to build that data set. And you do not have to do that live. Do that in sim. Now, like I just said, it is only a rough approximation of what's going to happen live because you don't have the full emotions. You don't have the money at risk. I mean, heck, if you've got the funding, then by all means, put money at risk. But, be prepared to lose every dollar that you're trading over that test period, right? So that's why we recommend simulator because it's just a cheaper way to do it. You don't have to spend the money, and you may win, you may lose, but do not focus. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. What matters is did I follow my rules consistently? Then because you're really just trying to create usable data.
Yeah.
I know you guys
Agree.
are probably getting tired of us saying that, but we're trying to answer the question as honestly as we can. This is not easy, right? It's a lot of work, and it's not our intent for Carlos or I or Andrew or any one of us to just make it look easy. Sometimes we get excited. We're like, oh, it's great trade and awesome, and we've been doing it for a long time, so we can sometimes be a little glib about it or make it seem easier than it is. But there's a lot of work that goes in the background to make this happen. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. Someone asking about Tesla bookmap. You have it here. It's not. There's no huge imbalances right now on Tesla. At least I'm not seeing it on Atlas, right? So you got some big orders, some big bids down here, or orders to the downside. But there's not a huge imbalance at the moment. So I'm not seeing that. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes here.
Where I want
Um.
to, oh, I want to get better at managing like this. I think I missed an opportunity in Tesla on this pullback when it
Mhm.
came back. I could have shorted again. That's a
On
typical bounce
on
pattern.
Tesla, you want to short again?
No, no, I said I could have when it
Oh,
pulled back. Like that's what one of the things I want to get better on over time because those moves at the open, like often they'll do that sort of bounce and then
oh,
move
you mean
like back
here? You
to a
mean
new
like
lower
here,
day.
this area?
Uh, yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay,
That's
gotcha,
exactly
gotcha,
the
gotcha.
area.
Okay, okay. Yep.
And I'm not good at that. That's where sometimes if we hold onto the trade where you would try and add into it, right? Because you're looking
Mm,
for a place to add where you can get a
yep.
further move. In my case, I had so few shares, I just decided to get all out. So add or re-enter, it's the same strategy though. And I said I acknowledge I'm not that good at it, so I didn't take the opportunity this time, but
Yeah. I had to add this
we'll
week.
work
That
on it.
turned out pretty good. I got to work on the
You
adding too.
did,
Yeah, we had to add on
yeah,
what's it? Tesla or Nvidia? I forgot about. We both added in. Oh no, you added in. What's the day
yeah,
before? You added into one and got stopped out, but I added on to one that actually worked. Took a quick
yeah,
partial. Forgot what trade it was. You know what? I've been
yeah.
doing a poor job. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Poor job of taking screenshots and updating my journal. Really poor job. I'm
Oh,
not gonna lie to you.
Carlos.
And that's not
Tisk,
good.
tisk for shame.
Yeah, yes.
For
So I gotta,
shame.
it's,
Well,
it's been crazy. It's been so busy, man. The last 2 3 weeks, it's just been doing a poor job of doing that. So I got to start getting into
Well,
the habit again.
I mean, at least you know it, right? And you can
Yeah,
then
yeah.
do something about it.
In chat, Andrew had AMD and Nvidia. He traded both of those using Atlas as well, which I have up here as well on the other screen, and was just kind of sitting and waiting for more opportunities. See what comes up. Question here. This is a good question, and I know we've been talking a lot about this, but it's important. There's some new traders that just need to understand how how things work. So they'll ask questions like this one and like the one Peter's been answering and I've been answering. And I know it takes a little from the trading, but the question is, they're asking if we are paid full time by BBT, me and Peter. So we do get paid for our money, MVP. We do get paid for our time. So there's no question about it. But think about trading. This is why we tell people start part time. Start part time. Because I'll tell you this, before my trading got better, if my wife did not work, if she did not cover benefits for our kids, there's no way I could have survived trading. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
there's no way, because the amount I was making per month on trading is not going to cover all the expenses for 3 kids, a wife, a house. It's just not going to do that. So you got to have different avenues, man. You got to have your job, right? So we do spend some time with BBT here, live in you guys. So Andrew does take care of us there a little bit. I have a rental unit that I first used to live in. I rent it out now, so I got some income from that. It's not going to make me rich. I'm not going to get richer for that, but it's paying itself off. I think the amount that increased over COVID is crazy. So that's one source of revenue, right? And we got and I got my trading. So we got these 3 different things, right, are going to help you. Believe it or not, they're going to make you a more profitable trader. When I was just trading on his own and didn't have other incomes, it was very stressful. The stress level, Peter, was unbelievable.
Yep.
Really, because you have to make money. You have to make money now to cover your bills, right? And I got to the point where I had the big loss. Why did I have that big loss, $17,000? Because I was forcing to try to make money to not have to go back to a 9 to 5, right?
Yep.
The minute I started doing different things and, okay, make a little bit here, make a little bit there, rent out the apartment, do this, my trading exploded because now there was not that pressure to make money. So I tell you guys, one of the advice that we give you is start part time. Andrew tells you all the time, do not leave your 9 to 5. Keep your 9 to 5.
Absolutely not.
Work, trade part time, try to make a little bit of money, and then don't even leave your job because you need the benefits, you need this, you need that, right? And it takes the pressure of trying to make money every single day out of the markets when you're starting out. If I would have done that my first 2-3 years, oh man, would have been crushing it a little more than I am now. It would have been, because I started the wrong way. Started the wrong way. So change that mindset.
And from my point of view, like Andrew gives us a little stipend, something for our time, but it's not anywhere near like a salary. From my point of view, I mean, you got to keep in mind, I retired from a very lucrative corporate career. I just decided I didn't want to do it anymore. So, and Andrew gives me, a little bit of money, but it's a pittance.
For your time
compared
for your time that you're spending here, it's and a lot of it we do it more to give back to the community. To be honest, I mean, and
absolutely.
Andrew, Andrew, like one of the questions we get asked often: how do you become a moderator at BBT? It just happens. Like I had this one guy show up for 2 years to the onboarding class, not a BBT moderator, for 2 years every Monday showing up to help me out with the team, answering questions. Not a moderator. I didn't ask him to do it, right? I reached out to him like, dude, Dwayne, Andrew. Like, dude, do you want to be a moderator? You want to come in and just help us out? We'll give you a little something for your time. No, I'm good. I'm just happy to get back to the community. That was like a year ago. I was like, what's wrong with this guy? So I emailed him again. Like, hey, listen, man, let's have a conversation. Finally, I got him on the phone with Andrew, and Andrew was like, come on, man, become a moderator. Let's work together. Let's help us with our education center. And he was like, but I'm not a profitable trader. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. There's people in the back end that help the community thrive. Not everybody's going to be an Andrew. Not everybody's going to be a Peter. You need, for the whole body to work, somebody's got to be the feet, the arms, the leg. You need different parts. And that's the way things work. I know I'm going to rant, but that's the rant that I think is important, right? So,
hey, man, it's good. But we're trying to answer the question that was put to us, right? We're here because we love it, because we really do want to help the community and help everybody understand the realities of trading, right? Because there is so much out there that's going to tell you how easy it is, and you can be a millionaire in 3 weeks. Just follow my 5 simple rules. It's not that easy, right? And we just want you to know. We want to really help. We just really want to help you guys, sort of progress in your career and learn. Frankly, if this is the thing for you. For some people, I always say the most valuable thing they can learn is like, you know what, this is not something I want to do. I don't enjoy it. It's not, yes, I got into it because I saw the opportunity to make a lot of money, but the reality is it's not where I want to be spending my time. Cool, right? You learned something. Hopefully we did that with a minimum of costs and time, right? But
again,
for those that really, really want to do it,
transparency is important. Like, not everybody's gonna, like, we know for a fact, like, I might not be a millionaire trader. Right now, am I making a good amount that you guys can make a good amount where you might, use it for travel, use it for an extra savings account, like, oh, absolutely. But do I feel like I'm going to be a millionaire trader? I don't see myself getting there, right? But that's okay. I'm perfectly fine where I'm at. But, be realistic. Be realistic with the returns, and trust me, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. But you got to be realistic, right? And this is going to answering that question about, how much can you make out of trading? What if you're not profitable? What if this? What is that? There's so much involved, right? That goes with that, right? So, all right, I am long Apple for the VWAP breakout, friends. Here, I'm trying to see if we can. Yeah, I like the VWAP, but then you know what? I'm looking at the daily, and I don't like the daily as much because the resistance. I don't like that as much, but I do like the possible VR breakout here. Let's see if we can get going.
Okay. The chat room will not load for you. I try and clear your cache on your browser and retry. I said I'm in and it's working fine for me. Let me try and open another instance.
Which one? Trading terminal?
Get in. He said the chat room, so I assume it's the Verbal Trading chat room. No, I'm able to get in again, so looks like it's all up and fine. Can't even get the website to load. That's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not having any problems here. Let me try another browser on my side. There.
How did Andrew become a millionaire by trading? He went YOLO. He went YOLO on a couple of trades. He paid out.
he did.
He went YOLO. Hey, something's better work. No. I don't know.
He
YOLO on GameStop.
Actually did.
No, he did. He actually, to a certain degree, he did. He did. Hey, listen. This is why it has so much to do with personality. Andrew's a very risk averse, like not averse. He's a very risky person. Like he takes risk. I mean, the guy climbs mountains for fun, right? Where he can actually not come back from. So when you take those type of risks, and you're that type of person, you're gonna take risks, and sometimes those risks, if they hit, well, you're gonna do very well, right? So, but we're not recommending everybody take those type of risks, right? So it's not for everyone.
It was a good balance. In Andrew's case, really, it was a good balance of big risks when he felt the risk was warranted, some of which paid off, some of which didn't. And he's been very public about sharing, he's had $1 million losses. And before that, he's had some big losses. But so he's able to take that risk with a lot of grinding, right? A lot of like every day doing what we do here, focus on the stocks, right? Building it so that he could take the big risk and not have his entire account be liquidated by that risk. And then again, some worked and it was accretive and it added to his valuation. And others, he's like, Jesus, like that just cost me a lot, right? So now I got to rebuild again. So it's been a pretty balanced approach, I got to say. And you can go into our YouTube channel. If you don't believe us,
you see the progress.
Yeah,
you see it.
He's got
so
his
documented
summaries that go back years and years. You can sort of see how he's evolved. So it's pretty public process he's been through. You got to give him credit for that.
Yeah. All right, we're holding the VWAP here on Apple, trying to see if the high of the day is going to be a thing. I got two support levels here that are great. Got the previous day close and VWAP. We just got to hold the line, baby, and let's see if we can get to 57.20. 57.30 is the high of the day. So let's see if that goes there. This is very important. I was explaining to my P Capital team this week as well, about levels, right? Putting levels, their stop slightly below the level you want to hold, right? I might still get stopped out. This is not saying it's going to guarantee a win, but so many times, like my stop is the VWAP, right? The loss of VWAP. I never put my stop right on VWAP because this happens so much. You come back down and it gets retested and it comes back up, right? Now it can still stop me out, which is fine, but in some cases, you see it go back up, right? You want to survive that, right? So you see that a lot. You want to just give yourself a little bit of room there. POTR better than Apple? Probably. POTR, well, it's just did the breakout now. Let's see if we get the pullback and in confirmation. But this stock is just gonna go. I don't think you're getting any pullback here. Let's see. Let's be patient. Things sold off a lot, so I'm expecting some kind of rebound on here.
Andrew just saw the price on Rigetti. He's like, "What is going
He didn't.
on?"
Did he get in on that? No, he didn't. I'm just looking at his screen.
No,
He did not.
he just been watching it. He was watching it earlier.
Quantum, man. It's tech. I saw a podcast. The headline. I didn't play it, but it said the only 5 jobs are gonna be available like in 2039. I'm like, I gotta listen to that. It's like 2030 something, because of AI and everything. I'm like, I gotta listen to this, to see what they think is gonna happen during that time. Hey, listen, we thought we were gonna have everybody's gonna be flying cars and the Jetsons, right? And that's not happening. So
Yeah,
by now, so
that's what I thought.
I don't think AI computers will take over everything just because humans need humans, man. It's just the way it is. It is just the way it is. Just like the way the market needs fear and greed to work, I think robots won't take over everything. If not, it'll be just a bunch of tech people, Peter, working. There's a bunch of techs running around fixing AI robots. What do you do? Oh, I work for Tesla Robotics. I'm an engineer. Everybody's gonna work for Tesla, and they're gonna do engineering, maintenance, sales. That's it. There'll be no other jobs available. What's TP? What TP or SL do you see? SL is stop loss, but what is TP? So my stop loss is if we start banging ourselves below the VWAP here. That's my stop loss.
Toilet paper.
But what's TP? Toilet paper?
that's what I know TP as.
Oh,
I don't
what's
think
my
that's what they mean.
target profit? Oh, I thought usually we say
Oh.
profit target, so wouldn't it be PT?
Target. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways,
Target price. Target. Oh, it's a couple of target price. All right, good. So
take profits.
I'm looking.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking for the high of the day, man. This is at least 1 to 3, 1 to 2.5. That's what I'm looking for. Now, would I take a partial at 256.80 if we get there and we start struggling? Absolutely. But I'm looking for the high of the day on this one. So let's see. That's what I'm looking for. And let me take a look at our Atlas and see how Apple looks. I messed up my settings on Atlas. I gotta fix them. I like the way I had it earlier, yesterday. It looked really nice. So I gotta fix them. I've been playing around with it. It's just I messed it up. Yeah, I'm not liking it. Messed it up. Not Atlas' fault. My fault for hopping around and not remembering what I did.
Yeah, I'll admit I didn't. Things were moving so fast. I didn't actually use the order book this morning on my trade on Tesla. I was just watching the price action. So, not to say it wouldn't have been useful. I just wasn't focused on it. again, incorporating anything new it takes some time, I've learned, right? You gotta build the skills to be able to watch all the stuff you want to watch. Sometimes that is a big mistake that traders make, right? Out of the gate, where you're like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put these 20 charts with these 50 indicators and blah blah blah, and you get all the stuff set up, and then you just can't. You're like, I don't. How do people watch all this stuff? Like, it's not
Yeah.
possible. Well, at this point in time, you're right. It's sort of not possible for you, but you can develop the skills to be able to do it over time. So,
Um, Friends, 333 likes. We'd love to get closer to 400. That is our goal for the day before we hand it off to Andrew and Brian coming up in a few minutes here. So help us get there. Really appreciate
yeah,
it. Wow, it's only 10:15. This is
it
taking
does
long.
feel later,
I feel
doesn't
like
it?
long, right? I feel like we should be
Yeah.
much later. Uh,
You know why? Because you're in an Apple trade, and that can often move slow.
Yes, this is taking ages, man. It's like watching paint dry here. You know what? There's a Peter and I traded the open for much longer than you have, and you are picking it up, I
Yes.
think, pretty fast. Really awesome. All right. There's a big difference between this like even earlier 950 time frame and then
Hmm.
after that. The change of
Right.
pace is like night and day, right? It's like a clear line, like how much the volume drops, things take a little bit longer. It's not always you get days like in Tesla and Nvidia where things just kept rocking and rocking. So you kind of got to switch a little bit the way you think. Like you're trading the first part of the day exactly the way you should be.
Right.
Right, tight stops, in and out. If it works, it's got to work quickly. If it takes too long, I'm out. That's the right way to trade this part because it's so volatile. But then here you can't do that, right? So if you're a trader where you find yourself doing well in one area and struggling in another, make sure you're making the switch for what the market time frame is, right? Because it's not the same at the market open in other parts of the day. I'm sure it's obvious reasons why, but sometimes I find traders trying to do what they do in the open later in the day with their tight stop. I'm like, wait a minute, why is your stop so tight? You need to give it a little more room to move around,
Right.
right? So and then at the market open, where you can have a stop that big, you're going to be in trouble if it hits this and it gets slippage, right? So you got to make sure you have that flip and switch there once you get later in the day. There's no Atlas information at BBT website. Can you please share it? Yeah, Umberto is going to be over at tradingterminal.com. So head over to tradingterminal.com. You're going to get access to it there. There it is. We're grinding higher. We're trying. We're trying on Apple. And you'll get access to it. Yeah, you're right. It's not on there. Okay. All right, let's see. POTR pullback. Oh, that's sold already. So I'm constantly switching indicators on the one screen. I gave my trades more room to breathe after the opening. Yep, absolutely.
Good old Rigetti. Let's see, AMD. It's funny, AMD. If you looked at AMD at around 933, it looked like it
Mm-hmm.
was started to make this massive move
I
higher,
know.
and it was
Yeah.
just running. But then now you look at it, and you're like, well, that wasn't really that big of a move. I mean, it
Yeah.
moved $2, but and then it sold off more than it moved higher. And now it's back into this mid range. So, all right, well. Yeah, I'm sort of pretty happy with that opening trade on Tesla. Now I think I just have to wait for some mid-afternoon opportunity.
Yeah. JC Trader. Yeah. And again, and limit orders are not bad. So JC Trader is saying that he had a limit order instead of a market order, so he missed it. Limit orders are not bad because you know, they have their place, of course, in trading, right? So yeah, so the premium plan on tradingterminal.com includes everything. right? And this we're not gonna hit you with the Apple system I explained yesterday, where we charge you for every little thing, you know, and this. No, we're not gonna do that. So here's one charge is $59. You get access to everything, and when you're in there, you don't have to buy any data like you do like with certain service. You have to upgrade to get this. You got to get that. No, it's one price for everything. I think like Andrew likes to keep things very simple. So you go in there and just pay for that. Now I'm campaigning. I'm campaigning very hard because I want you guys to love me later. You know, if you like the tools, hop on in so you can get grandfather in, right? Hop on in there. That price like
Yeah.
it's gonna go up, right? It
Eh,
has to go
Well,
up because
Andrew's
it's gonna
yeah,
get
Andrew was
better,
just
you know?
saying that yeah, he's he hasn't hit sort of the target price. It is going to go up, so he's looking for people who understand that you're joining on a beta.
Right, right. Joining on a beta, help me help you, and let's help each other, right? Like help
Yeah.
me help you type thing. Yeah. So, um, and again, worst case, if somehow some reason you don't like the value you're getting, you can always cancel. You're not stuck, right? It's not that case, but um, you don't want to be on the outside looking in later when things are a little bit different. Um, all right, I'm holding patience here. I'm holding. I want to see 257.30 if that's going to be a thing for Apple. The 5 minute looks great. As we're pushing higher here, and again, just being very patient, see if we can make this trade work for a while here. POTR up and down, actually collapse. Nice VWAP breakdown. MU going down. Oh man, everything's going down. We're struggling. Tesla back to the low. Wow, Tesla back to the low of the day.
Yep.
Nvidia. See, all this stuff selling off is concerning my Apple trade. It's concerning. So let's see. Um. So yeah, let's see. Let's see.
Apple's finally
Yeah,
moving.
it's trying, man, but everything is kind of turning. Must be the market kind of turning down. Yeah, see the SPY is going red, so it's not dragging it completely, but it's I'm sure putting a little bit of pressure on the sentiment here on Apple to keep going. But everything is rolling over. I mean, Tesla low of the day, Nvidia actually trying to hold here, AMD trying to hold, MU down, POTR lost the VWAP. So we'll see. With me or without me? Yeah, Umber, that's it. With me, without with me, with trade terminal, without trade terminal, with trade terminal. We gotta make an ad. We gotta make an ad with that. That's good. Oh man. Oh, so good, so good. There's a contest going on one of the radio stations here in New York. What they're doing is, um, you get to pick the movie, and whoever can quote the most lines, right? So they're asking people, what movie would that be
Okay.
for you, right? So people had movies that they watched over hundreds of times, obviously, and they can
Wow.
quote as many quotes possible. So I was thinking like, I like movies, I enjoy them, but I don't know if I have a movie where I can quote like 20 quotes, right? Maybe Scarface or something like that with a lot of uh, uh, big mentions, but I don't know. I don't think there's any movie that I know that well like that, Peter.
Really?
So
Yeah. I don't know that there's any movie that I can quote like all the lines to. My daughter
yeah.
could quote pretty much all the lines to Harry Potter because
Mm,
she's seen it so many times. Uh, I mean,
let's go
I've
Apple.
watched probably one of the
With
movies I've watched the most is The Shawshank
let's go.
Redemption, but it's not exactly quotable.
Right, right, 'cause there's some good movies, but like this, there was nothing that stuck out like this one with Tom Cruise. With me, without me, right? Everybody could quote that. It became so popular. Or the one Denzel did, where he's the crooked detective or cop. Putting cases on all
Training Day?
you. Yeah, see, there's a lot of quotes in that one that are pretty funny. you know.
Ah.
So, but yeah, it's Friday is fun. Yeah, comedy has stuff that's very memorable. Actually, yeah. The Notebook, Beth. All I know is they were standing in the rain, getting wet. Like I love you. That's the only thing I remember. I gotta watch it again. Oh man,
What do you want?
what
What
do
do
you
you
want
want?
from
That's all I
me?
remember from the Notebook.
Can we stop
I
crying
don't know
already?
what I want. I know that's been used in a lot of contexts to, like it's like the old joke
With
about
trading.
well, like couples, trying to
Yeah.
decide what to have for dinner. I don't know what I
Oh,
want.
is that's really a thing, man?
It is really a thing.
That's really a
If
thing.
you've ever tried to
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't care. Let's have everything. Carlos, you must have been
Mm.
in this situation too,
Mm-hmm.
where your spouse says, oh, I don't really care. Whatever you want, and then the first five things you mention, they're
He
like,
doesn't
no, I
want.
don't want that.
Yeah.
Well, you said anything, like, so it's not anything. Well,
Yeah.
it's anything that I want. Well, how am I supposed to know what that is? Just
Facts.
tell me. I don't know what I want. Anyways.
So Apple, I'm looking for the view app breakout here, right? So if you look at again, not the cleanest thing. So this breakout fails, but then you have this one here, you have the pullback, and then you have all these consolidation, and then here's the confirmation that goes above the pullback. Again, it's not a clean one like we are used to seeing where it's like 1, 2, 3. No, it doesn't do that. It's a little bit dirtier here, but it's still I think reasonable. So you got the breakout here, the pullback consolidates, and then on the confirmation I went long. But this is
Andrew.
still a VWAP breakout, right?
Wow.
So
RGTI 35. Carlos, you should have gone long RGTI.
I like at the open. That's what I should have traded today. It's just it's just went long. Just as soon as the bell rang, just go long.
Yeah, you want
RGTI.
a VWAP break? You look at
Yeah.
RGTI back at the VWAP there. You could have just done that, like at a 937. So easy to look back on a chart, right? And say, oh,
Oh
here's all you had to do.
yeah. That's what do we think about SMB trading? SMB Capital? Is it SMB Capital? SMB Trading? SMB Trading? Those guys are great, man. We met with
Yeah,
Mike Bellafiore a couple of times. I had
Mike
dinner with him. Me, all
Bellafiore.
of us. Andrew knows him very well. Trading is a small niche community. Everybody knows everybody. Trading is a very small niche community. We're not huge. So we all know everybody. We run into each other in places, trading events, stuff like that. We have respect for everybody. Now there are some sleazy people out there, but the people usually that we talk to and meet with, that we have respect for them, for their community, what they're doing, all of that, and Andrew does too. So there's no malice that we send to them. Like, oh, it's not that, nothing like that. So I haven't done their training community or anything like that. But again, he has a very popular book. I personally have not read it, but I know people like his stuff. So
No, I've got it. Wait a second. Here it is.
yeah,
Take it off the shelf. Look, I've read it.
yeah,
See, I've got it
there you go.
here. You can see, I even got it like dog-eared. You can see I've got my little
There you
tabs
go.
in it. So there's yeah. So it was a decent trading book.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah,
lot of trading books, right? There's, one good thought in it. It's one good trade. There's, so, you take your key point and
absolutely.
I am watching Rigetti here. It's I don't know what it
What you
wants
don't
to
want to
do.
do is who asked the question? What you don't want to do is you don't want to be careful if, like, for example, if you join one community and you're not successful, then you join another, like don't bounce around with that, with just stick with it, right?
Yeah.
Stick with it. Obviously you eventually, after you give it enough time and you do a honest review of how you fit into that community, you don't like what you're seeing, or you might want a different change, that's perfectly fine. But stick with it for a certain amount of time, then you say, hey, you know what, maybe this is not the best fit for me. It's not that they're bad, it's just you might want to switch or us, whoever, but give yourself enough time because as a new trader, the community's not going to make you profitable. Like we're not going to make you profitable, right? You make yourself
Right.
profitable, right? We're going to help you in the process of, hey, look out this, look out for that, look out for that pothole, slow down this curve, you're doing 90, maybe you want to do 45, right? So that's what we're going to do. But we're not going to drive the car for you, so just keep that in mind, right? So the more laps you do around the track, the better you're going to get, the better and better and better and better you're going to get. Next thing you know, you are taking the turn 90 miles per hour because you have amazing experience, right? But it takes time. It takes a lot of laps. So
Wow,
very
wow. I
important.
like the car analogy here, Carlos.
Oh, you like
That's
that, right? You like the little laps, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. From a man that actually been on the track like yourself with your Porsche, it's got to hit right at home, right?
Yeah, yeah. And you're absolutely correct. It does take a lot of laps.
Well, all right, Apple. My stop loss is below the VWAP. So stop loss is right here, below the VWAP on Apple. And again, it's trying, man. It's trying. Um, let's see. We're not used to waiting this long, right, guys? We're not used to waiting this long for a trade to work or stop us out. But I have faith that Apple's gonna make it happen. It just might take longer than what we like. What I like to is that I want to see hopefully the moving average continues to move higher, VWAP move higher, so then now the support becomes closer, further from my stop. That's a good thing. We don't want to see a just immediate collapse here. That's what we don't want to see on Apple. Oh, Sam, are you in this too? Are you in this one, man? Yeah, you guys might not see this one.
Mm.
After we hop off here. Oh, here it is trying. Might not see the ending to this one.
Yeah, there's
It
Rigetti moving higher. Watching it here. I was
Oh,
looking to
Rigetti's.
see if it was
Anybody in
gonna.
Rigetti, man? Wow, what a mover today. Yeah, Apple is so quiet right now. There's not much on Atlas at the moment. I mean, the volume is we're barely moving here, so Atlas is not giving me a whole lot to work with at the moment. It's not Atlas, it's just the stock is not giving us a whole lot to work with
Yeah,
the level 2 at the moment. So
yeah.
that's just moving like this, very very slow.
You picked you picked a tough one, Carlos.
I
Apple when it
did,
you know
man.
when it can move, it can move well, but this
Yeah,
doesn't feel it
yeah.
doesn't seem like one of those days.
It really does not.
Yeah.
I mean, Tesla's continuing to sell off. Even Nvidia, I think everything wants to go up is struggling to go against the grain here. So look at Nvidia struggling to go higher. AMD not doing anything. What's AVGO doing? Same thing, just struggling here. Apple struggling. Uh, MU not doing much, and
Uh,
POTR is starting to break out. Look at
uh,
POTR, guys. POTR is trying to do something. Unless you're in Rigetti, you're waiting. You're sitting and waiting and watching. Look at Rigetti. And then
I
Hood.
just missed the opportunity, I think, to short Rigetti. I'm not going to chase it, even
Mm.
by 30 cents. But oh, look at that. Oh, I was just a second too slow.
Yeah.
Ay,
Oh,
ay,
that's
ay.
it. There it is.
Oh, that's all right. That was
I'll take
my
that one for you.
that's my trade.
You know what? I had Hood on the list. It did nothing all day until just 10 minutes ago. Right?
Yep.
It's been just pretty crappy
Yeah,
here.
that's
Just 10
pretty
minutes
ugly.
ago. Yeah, we got going. So,
And that's the problem with moves like that, I find, right? Why would you trust suddenly that's going to be the one that takes off, right? After it did it like one, two, three, four, maybe five earlier
mhm,
times and didn't work, right?
right.
So it's it's easy in hindsight to look at and say, "Oh, look at that. You could have caught the move." But what I always challenge people, look back at the full chart. If you were actually watching this live, would you have been able to take the trade? Like
Yeah.
in all honesty. And I find most of the time when I look at a chart, again,
Yeah.
you can see a great move in hindsight, but when you actually sort of analyze the chart, sort of, candle by candle, even after the fact, I'm like, the reality is I probably never would have taken the trade. And if I had, I probably would have taken it 5 times with 4 stop outs. And now I'm sitting way behind the 8 ball. So,
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good
hello.
morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Carlos. I'm in a very good mood today. Not even Peter can
Good.
believe.
Nice.
Oh, well, I'll do my
Not
best.
not even
Yeah.
Peter can get you upset with his political comments today.
Not even Peter can comment. Brother, don't talk about president.
You,
um,
you want me to get started? You want me to try? I can.
no, no,
Oh
no,
no
no.
no 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 no.
Okay.
So
All
I had
right.
a pretty good
Never
day,
mind.
guys. I'm sitting
Yeah.
$17,000 profit because I took two trade based on Market Atlas, and I loved it. That how clean was for my decision making. So the way that you guys see is this is the screen that you see. Then I have the Market Atlas on top as well. So I look at the price action, the candlesticks, and Market Atlas at the same time. So it's a quick glance of both of them. So what I saw was AMD. Obviously, AMD was gapping up 3% at the open sold off, but it came above the VWAP, squeezed above the VWAP. And I was wondering, should I take this opening range breakout or not? It's tricky. And then I look at the order market atlas, and I saw that really big orders are stacking up liquidity toward 170. And I have a screenshot of that as well. And I took a very heavy trade on that. Boom, $14,000 for 2 seconds. And so this is amazing. It was so easy. I wonder why Thor and Nathan are just constantly shouting. "Oh, boo." That's why. So I have a screenshot on that as well. So for those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, is so the level two that you're seeing here on my chart. So these numbers are going up and down. So the level two can potentially be visualized with something we call market atlas. So the market atlas can give you all of these numbers that are constantly changing in more on a visualization pattern. And if Carlos go full screen, so this is, for example, the AMD. And what you're seeing here, like right now, the market is really, not doing a lot of things. But all of those levels that you see is, the orders are stacking up or stacking down. Sometimes very super clear, and the price usually goes toward the liquidity pools. When there's big ask up there, price goes toward that. When there's big bids there, price goes toward that. Usually, not 100%. So this is an indicator that you can actually potentially look into that. As you see now here, the orders for AMD is stacking down toward 167. 168.50 also have something. So, and the price is very close to that. So there's a really good chance that test this 168.50. Again, this is not something that you can tell the future with it, but it's a decision making, like a VWAP, like moving averages, like candlesticks. It's something that can help you to make that decision. As you see, 168.40 goes toward 168.50, probably testing it out. I don't know what the candlestick look like right now, but might test it out and then maybe go down. And this can change, really fast, during the day. What I saw in the morning that I want to show again, if Carlos, you stay on the full screen, and this is very important that I actually let's see. So, I stay on full screen. Where is that? It's. I think I sent it to Danielle. It's this one. This is the chart that I later actually make a newsletter on it. So it's a little bit tricky to see here, but the AMD was here. This is the chart that you see. I don't know if you can, if it's clear or not for me. So AMD sold off and then it squeezed above the VWAP. So that was my signal that should I go long or not? And then I quickly look at the market atlas and I saw huge orders of 170 sitting there. So the pattern for me on the candlestick was there. This was a great confirmation that I go long heavy at 168.50. And I'm going to show you what happens. The rest is history. I'm going to put these two screenshots later together next to each other for my newsletter, if you're getting it, so you can get a better understanding of that, or maybe you do a video recap. And then this is what happens. We bring this one here. There you go. So now you can go, yeah, there you go. Thanks, Carlos. So as you see, this squeeze happened here. And looking at 170 levels that were standing at the market atlas, I just went very heavy and then boom, popped up very nicely and then came down and I got out at the break even. And that's exactly, scalping works. Very quick, short moves with big size and for big profit based on the very short-term indicators. And that was great. That was a really amazing trade for me that I took based on Atlas. Very similar trade based on NVIDIA as well. So I'd opened 1 minute range breakout, but I got stopped out soon because I took a bigger position on AMD and I liked AMD more than NVIDIA because AMD was gapping up 3%, NVIDIA was only 1%. NVIDIA did the same move as well. I have the same screenshot, very similar to NVIDIA. Let's see, yeah, so it's a very similar screenshot that you can see on NVIDIA. So when I went long here, so let's see these orders are stacking up. We made a little bit less money on that. But it's great. It's a great tool. I'm actually very proud of it. I'm actually very embarrassed that why did I find it so late in life? I like to keep my trading very simple. But this is a really great tool. Now that we own it as a community all together, I'm going to use it more and more there. If you do like this to try it, go sign up to a trial for 7 days for free. And the cost is going to be $99 per month for trading terminal. We're going to increase the price tomorrow because for every user that using this market liquidity by Nasdaq, we have to pay $20 per month per user to Nasdaq. So I have to increase the price to $99. But anyone who signed up today is going to be grandfathered forever $59. Even if you increase the price to $200, you continue paying that $59 until you cancel. If you cancel, then it's over. But overall, it was great. That's why I'm in a very good mood. That's why Market Atlas helped me to have a good day. Brian, how was your day?
My day was good. I did we got one really good trade on PLTR. Got that bottom just around 950. It came down and tested S3 price, and then threw a really nice doji candle, sort of came back up, and it's when I took it long, and we got back up to through yesterday's close, and even got up to 180 85.80. So the last partial on that one. And then another trade I did was Tesla about the same time. We did a rejection at the 9 EMA. So Tesla really sold off, but at one point it bounced off S3, came up to the 9 EMA, and I shorted it there, and it came right back down again using options because you get better leverage. So you trading the 460 puts. So that worked out quite well. So yeah, it's been a really good day, and I've got a lot of number of penny stocks that have just been going on fire. So those are swing trades, but yeah, it's been amazing market. And it's starting to remind me of a little bit of the .com craziness that happened. Everything's going up.
Yeah, Rigetti is really going up significantly. So there's one question that somebody asked: Is Market Atlas works for the futures? No, the data for futures is coming from a CME Group in Chicago. We haven't subscribed to that yet. We will and we shall. But if you look at the Aspire and QQQ, the liquidity pools on those ones are very similar to the short-term futures. So if you're trading contracts that are very close, very short-term contracts, QQQ and Aspire kind of follow that. Any question? Any question about yeah, so trading terminal has only one package. I mean, I hate kind of this hidden package, hidden fees stuff in life. So there's one trading terminal premium that everything is included, and I like to keep it that way. So real-time simulator, funded accounts, Atlas, scanner, journaling, and I'm probably going to build something like a spot gamma for options trading, and everything is all part of one package. And the only thing, honestly, I would have given it for free. But again, I mentioned that many, many times to people that financial market data is a subscription base. So what does it mean? It means that the NASDAQ and the exchange, even CME Group in Chicago, they're expecting you to pay per month, per user for using their data, which is ridiculous in my opinion, but that's the way it is. So not only you have to pay for the software, and not only they make money out of their commissions on the exchange, but the distribution of the data to you is costly. CME Group is even more expensive than NASDAQ. So if you want to go to ARCA and other exchanges, it's going to be super expensive. And that's the way it is in this industry. I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know that until recently that I came into this financial data distribution. I realized that, wow, that's the business model. It's like a razor and blades. So they sell you something, but they constantly want to get something out of you.
Yeah, that's their business model, selling data.
Selling data, yeah. Even for example, even your iPhone, that you look at this data, they're charging Apple for that. This data that you're seeing, the stock prices and stuff, this is not free. This is free to you, but Apple is paying probably billions of dollars to them for distributing the real-time data of Apple that you can see this chart. This is not free. They have a licensing agreement on an enterprise level. It's probably, I would say, is in the range of hundreds of millions to billions. They're charging Apple for this.
Yeah, it's not just, and it's the Canadian stocks too they have on there. I don't know about if they have any international, like Frankfurt or London, but
Yeah.
get Canadian stocks on the Apple thing too. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they're paying data fees for that as well.
Yeah, so Lucian, another thing is that education is very important. Again, our community is all about education, and Trading Terminal would be never a real trading platform. It would be always an educational platform. So what I want to do is I want to have the Atlas replay, which is coming probably in a month or so, and a chart next to each other. And then you can actually see the chart price action and the Atlas price action together, and you can actually do replay. So tomorrow you're gonna come and see what did Andrew trade AMD, and then I can go back yesterday and replay it, and then you get the lessons and develop the strategies and develop educational path for yourself. So this is something that is going to come. So all of this data we're going to store it in our servers, and we're going to replay it. So it would be amazing educational tool. So I really pushed my development teams too much. I cannot ask them right now. They're not here. If I tell them I want it by next week, they're going to kill me. But I think by next month, we're going to be able to have some sort of a replay as well. It's not very difficult. We're very close.
Shorted SPY right now. SPY and Qs are breaking down.
Qs are going down. Is Tesla, they went to S4? I want Tesla at S4.
It dropped a little while ago, didn't quite get to S4, kind of hanging between there.
So Ben is asking why Thinkorswim is giving you free level 2, no one else does. Thinkorswim, that owns by Charles Schwab, they absorb the cost themselves. So there are also some business models that you buy a coffee, get a free muffin or something like that. So they make money out of you somewhere. So that could be some sort of a incentive for you to join them, to give you this free, and then they make money out of the commission or another data fee packages, or just by holding your assets, they make money. So there are different business models that the brokers and platforms they have, but they have to pay. But somebody absorbs that cost somewhere. Like, for example, Robinhood, one of the biggest business models that Robinhood had was the free commission. It was not, just selling your order flow. That was part of it. But another part of it is just holding your assets. $100 billion of assets is worth something.
Yeah.
The interest rates that they're getting paid, and the short term interest that they're getting, and holding asset is valuable. You put your $100,000 in there, your family puts $100,000 there, Brian puts his $100 million there, everybody puts their money there. They make money out of just holding their assets.
Yeah. Anything you're getting for free, you can count on you're paying somewhere else. You're paying for it some other way.
So my
And
account was
nothing is,
$30,000, but right now is around $9.5 million. That was a question. Yeah, journaling tool coming soon to trading terminal. Any question about the trades that we did today about markets? What did Rigetti do? 34, yeah, Rigetti bounced back from 36. Obviously, was very extended. So the Atlas setting is, you play around with it. Is the Atlas setting, some people are asking about the Atlas setting. Atlas setting is really not that complex. And again, it's a visualization tool. So, you can play around with the sensitivity and you see which one you like more. I'm using like 100 millisecond, 250 period, 30. So it's not a very complex thing, but maybe actually we reduce this one. So make it even more complex. But again, because it's a visualization tool, you have to play around with it and see what looks good to you, And again, the market atlas, guys, is not fortune teller ball. So I can see the future. This
yeah.
is just one tool at your disposal. It can be changing really fast. It can be wrong. There's no fundamental, like this is not a religion that if there is a big ask at 169 liquidity, it has to go there. No, it doesn't have to go there. There's no certainty in anything in the financial market. So it's just one tool that you have to put everything together and use it with experience. What time is it? 7:51.
Spies.
Carlos, did
Spy
you
looks
give
like
away
it's getting
something to
lower.
somebody?
No, we haven't given away anything yet.
Do you have anything to give away? Do you want to give away your house?
Yeah, I give away the house, but you gotta take the bills with it too. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. And the family.
Let's do it. And babysit the kids. All right, let's get something
Okay, so
away.
what about
Andrew, what
this
do you
one?
want to
What
do
about
today?
we give away 1 month of elite membership to 5 people who are not a member. But if you're a member, then you're already a member. But if you're not a member on YouTube, we draw 5 for members of Lambo and Garbage Truck, and we give 1 month free elite membership because we did yesterday 1 year, huh?
Yeah, we did 1 year. Yep.
Yeah. So
All right, let's
members of
do it. I
Lambo and
like that.
Garbage Truck, 5 of you are gonna get 1 month membership. So toward the end of it, like in 10 minutes.
All right, let's do it.
So Tesla, did Tesla go to S4 or no?
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, don't do it
Tesla has
now, Carlos. Do it later in 5 minutes. Do it in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Apple, you traded Apple. It was nice. I was watching you. You traded nice Apple, huh? That was pretty
I
nice.
did. Yeah, yeah.
Peter, what did you trade?
Peter Matter left. He traded Tesla, man. He had the great Tesla short.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Paris also had a couple of nice
nice.
trade. He traded Intel. I don't know how he got Intel. And Gary
Intel
also traded Tesla.
Intel got some order from AMD. I thought that was in the news. There's this BT TC is keeps showing up as being halted. Probably. Oh yeah, Jesus! Look at this thing. It's crazy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth halt
Which one?
started at BTTC. Started at about $6 this morning, trading at 16 now, but it's halted. Wow. Crazy.
All right. Any other question, guys? We have a few minutes to take some questions. Discount for lifetime membership? No, Najmul. Lifetime membership is really for some people who really want to commit to the community and stuff. Maybe Halloween we run some lifetime membership discounts. I don't know. Honestly, I don't want the community to be that big. I really love the size of our community. It's like, 500, 600 people, very serious. Our chat is not super busy. We don't have the DJs in our community. Everybody I see a lot of people like Brian, Daily Scalper. I see Bill. I met all of these people. They're all professional. They're all family oriented. They're all high achievers. How many summits we had? 7, 8, 9. It was amazing. Like I see this
Yeah.
group of people. I don't want everybody in our community. So running discount and being super salesy is just attract the wrong group of people. I don't want that. I really like to have a boutique trading community. Dave from Connecticut. Yeah, Dave from Connecticut. I saw Dave from Connecticut in Boston in 2017 or 18, maybe. I think 18 was there. Like a very long time. Yeah. They're amazing people. The people that I admire, like Brian, Brian, Peter, everybody, I admire people. They're high quality people. Like some people come with private jets to our summit, and they're successful entrepreneurs. We had really nice friend trader, was a very successful entrepreneur in Miami, exited some of the big chain restaurants that he had, trading. Like I love that. Like I love to hang out with those group of people. But when you keep discounting and things and stuff, you attract a group of people that you don't want to have a beer with them. Not that there's nothing wrong with them, but it's just you have limited time and energy. You want to associate yourself with some people that you enjoy. Again, I don't want to really say some people are good or bad, but in the matter of limited attention and energy and time and resources, you really want to be selective. So Trading Terminal and Market Atlas are complements to DAS Trader. DAS Trader is the Lamborghini of trading platforms. If you really want to have an amazing charting execution platform, hotkeys, DAS Trader. Our plan is to build something, complementary for our educational way. And Trading Terminal probably would be a tool that you use at the beginning of your education. So you go through the funded account, you do, academy and replay and stuff, but you eventually want to, if you survive in trading, you want to graduate to something very powerful like DAS or other platforms that are not necessarily DAS, but DAS is one of the best. I don't want to become a competition to trading platforms or brokers. I want to have a really good educational tool for a very niche community of traders, retail traders that want to benefit from financial market, because I did benefit from financial market. Financial market changed my life. You guys who've been following me for 10 years, you know how I evolve as a broke person coming to Canada, starting a new career and traveling the world, climbing the big mountains, and now, worth 10, $20 million. So it's all financial markets possible. So we want to build something that help people into that path. And the goal of our community is not really only making money. The goal of our community is to be the best version of ourselves in everything. You know, I climbed the biggest mountains in the world to show that you have to be the best in possible fitness, best possible state of mind, best possible, you know, version of yourself. You know, not everybody has to climb Everest, but everybody should be always try to be the best version of themselves. And that's the goal of a community. The theme is trading and investing, but like everyone that I see around me, like Brian, you know, all the people, Brian, you know, John, Mike, Carlos, they're all the best version. Amen. And he's a doctor. He's a medical doctor in Russia. You know, that's the best he can get, you know, from a country that he's from Syria, from the country that is war torn. He went to Russia, medical doctor, and then now, you know what I mean? That type of mentality. All right, so what time is it? 7:59. Let's do, Carlos, let's do a couple of elite membership and books and hand it over to one beautiful guy named Thor
Yeah.
in the chat room, to two beautiful guys, Gary and Paris.
All right,
Join,
excellent. So
guys,
this is-
Lambo and Garbage Truck. I see so
Yep.
many of you are not members of Lambo and Garbage Truck. Come on, Mohammed Hussein. Come on, Tavi Journey. Come on, pay that $5. Come on, $4, Nicola.
local currency.
Local currency. If you're in India, it's 4 rupees.
Yeah, there's your discount. All right, here's the first one, guys. 1 month annual elite memberships going to Vahi Hazampour. Congrats. Next is going to be Spunky Sun Chaser. Oh, that's the name of a great boat. Nice. Janko.
Yeah.
Awesome. Number 4 is Will E. Congratulations. And then last one for the Lambos and Garbage Truck members annually. Cool Deep Hada. I think you won before, Cool Deep. I know at least you won a book. I've seen your name here before.
You need to
So,
buy a lottery
congrats.
ticket, man.
Congrats. Yeah. All right. There it is. Anything else you want to give away, Andrew?
Huh?
Anything else you want to give away?
No, that's it. That's it.
You want to put your Lambo on here?
No, not Lambo. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, guys.
No
I'm gonna
Lambo
go
today.
spend my $17,000 today. I don't know if I can. There's no way
There
I
you
can
go.
spend $17,000 today. But hand it over to Boss.
What's going on? Definitely not boss. You're the boss.
Carl, I want to say, now that I know why you're a good trader, damn, this market atlas is amazing. I just started using it 2 days ago. It's amazing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying, boss. And I have Market Atlas up right now, and I love Market Atlas. Can I say I've said I love like 3 things in my whole life, and 2 of them are my children. The third one is Market Atlas. I love this frigging platform. I actually, as someone who has used Bookmap for years, Atlas is faster. I feel like it's cleaner. So as we continue to improve, I'm just really stoked to see where this tool goes. But it's
yeah, I mean the developers
boss.
that they built it for
Wow,
us,
you and the
German
developers,
engineers,
man. Wow.
they're Germans. The Germans is fucking German
Yeah.
engineers.
Wow.
These Germans, I love that. You know how Germans are. You
Yeah,
know?
it's like this like Mercedes of
The
order book.
Mercedes and then the weapons. You know how Germans are.
Yeah, plane engines, right, and weapons.
All right.
Jeez, okay.
All right.
Well, this is
Hand it
our
over to
new
you guys.
weapon.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Cheers,
Yeah,
boss.
engineers. Yeah.
Wow, man.
All right, man. Hey, liking the look of that new place, Talor.
Thanks. I got me some lights put in now, so I'm not as tan. I'm not as
Yeah,
swarthy looking
yeah.
now.
You're not in the dark.
Because I still
Not
wanted to
trading
have
in
the
dark.
background. I still wanted to have the background, but I was getting washed out because dark skin and light background really just doesn't
For
doesn't
sure.
like work out.
For
So
sure. All right.
how was your trades today? You do all right? Oh, I think I lost him. So, Thor is a great, but the way he deploys, hey, you got to know where your bread is buttered, Jose. All right, can we all be okay with that knowledge, right, my friend? You know, it's like when I moved into the new place. The first person whose hand I shook was the head of the homeowners association, right? So, so my screen is sharing right now, and you can see what trade I'm in. I've only taken this trade today. I did try a Microsoft trade earlier that I stopped out of. Just it wasn't performing, so I just didn't like the position anymore. Very rare that I stop out of a position, but this one was it had just not going anywhere. So I did end up cutting that one, and yeah, it's just the order book was really heavy. It had a really good move at the beginning, and it just didn't work. So I identified RTY. I got an alert on the cam system. So now I'm in RTY. So it was a really nice entry on Microsoft, by the way. I really liked the trade. But so now I'm in on RTY. When we signaled at S3 and we came down and hit the level, I went ahead and bought S3 and put my stop right below the lows. And my 4-to-1's probably more about right near the open price, but I'm going to go ahead and try and run all the way to R3, I think, on this one. If this doesn't work, I did not take the AMD rejection, and that was the one I should have taken. Hi, I just came on What's with BBT. What do you mean, Philalook? Because somebody else said What's with BBT earlier as well. I forget where that like what oh it was you twice. What do you mean by What's with BBT? Oh, the hashtag BBT. Oh, it's he sees all the hashtag BBTs going like 4,000 times probably. Right. So because sometimes when you log into YouTube, you see like what happened before. It doesn't start like live, I think. So they're probably seeing like all of the hashtag BBTs. So when Andrew does giveaways, we use hashtag BBT. Yeah, so they're giveaway winners. Is Google accumulating at S3? Let's look, because I want to use Atlas and looking at. And, oh, I meant to. Hey, when do we get futures on Atlas? Like, do I not brown nose enough around here? Like, can I get some futures? Hey, Thor. I'm a beginner. I really like your strategy as I tried so many, but R3 to S3 works just great for me. Oh, nice. I'm in deep. That's amazing. Oh yeah, Google's a really nice buy. So we had an S3 buy alert here on Google. So you can see it blew through the level, came up, but a buy right there would have been amazing at that new high. Stop below low of day. This is an S3 R3 play on Google. Notice how Google has this large ask up at it's like 3,773 orders here. Right now we're actively buying. You can see that we've got more bid near the price. So we're kind of chasing right now. So this is a solid buy. We'll probably dip in, hit this order, and then pop off. So right now it looks like we're making a movement up to 245.20, right? So 245.20 is right here, just above the open price, where this big sell happened, right? Oh, we just got an alert on Oracle. Oh, come on, RTY. We can do this. Fingers crossed, RTY. Yeah, Google's still valid. So I would prefer it to open below the CP though. Right? So I would have had trouble I wouldn't have likely I don't know. We're adding in some new logic for the CPR, and we're going to put the CPR in here and then actually adjust the play calls. But right now, it's not really, I mean, if you think about it right now, we're only calling like so far today, since the open, I've only called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 19, I mean, 11 calls. That's not bad, right? And if you look at the calls, Microsoft sucked. So sorry for that one. I bought Microsoft right here, and I held it this whole time. I even liked that there was a buy here, but then this happened. And when it offered up and then came back down, I cut my position like right here. So it just wasn't working. And look, and this was the reason I cut it. Look how blood red Microsoft is on the sell side, right? So Microsoft wasn't great, right? So Amazon, come on, loading a little slow right now. There you go. Amazon was a lovely call. Amazon went straight down and came right off of S3, re-offered it 1, 2, and even it hit it once and then offered it twice. Amazon was a beautiful long today. So that was a great call on Amazon. So the cam pivot squeeze, real quick, back, Paris. Go to this setting right here, bottom right, where this cog is, click it, and then go up here to here. Don't use auto, use scale price chart only. That'll fix that for you. Thank you, Toby. I'm glad you like that, right? That the goal for me was to get it as true to the book as possible and to eliminate additional, the problem, if I'm calling 50 plays a day, Toby, am I really calling anything? You know what I'm saying? It's not really a play call, right? So higher narrow range. This one failed. So no, I don't look at a daily chart at all, Tony, anymore. Look at Nvidia or Apple. Apple was a gorgeous call today. Look at that S3 buy on Apple. I mean, just beautiful. Let's see. Ooh, look at the red. Look how red we are. Tesla's been selling like hotcakes. You got the Apple one, Uzi? Heck yeah, that's awesome. So look, Tesla doesn't work, right? It's in the right place, but what's wrong with Tesla? It's selling, right? You can't buy something that's not buying. You know what I mean? So it's not buying, right? This is why VPA matters, right? So if you learn how to read VPA, you can figure this out just by looking at the candle patterning. So let me show you how to do it with candle patterning. HA is the S3 buy. So this play is S3 buy, buying at S3. Not this one. This one is proprietary to me right now. Volume and price analysis, Thorin. My favorite resource for that is my personal book, A Complete Day Trading System. I have a really lovely VPA chapter. If you want to expand, my favorite VPA author, other than myself, Anna Cooling. She is the goddess of VPA. She's quite spectacular. So I'd highly recommend to learn about that. So what you can see here, so if you're looking at this chart, and specifically if you look to the downside, anytime the price goes above the blue line, what color is the candles? Red. It's not that hard. You know what I mean? Anytime you look at this, the volume, the largest volume comes in when we sell, right? It's selling. right? So don't buy a ticker that's selling, right? Patterns don't matter if we're not doing the right thing. Patterns are used for enticement and trapping, right? It's, you know, patterns only work when they're in the right place under the right, you know, think about it this way. A pattern is your how, right? A pattern is how you actually enter the position. It's not a reason to observe it for getting in. It needs to be at the right level. That's your where. It needs to be under the right conditions. That's your when, right? Is it buying? Is it selling? Is it choppy, right? You need to know if it's doing that, right? So VPA really outweighs. And then your patterning is how you decide how you control your risk, right? Now, one of the things I don't really like is patterning, right? So that's why generically when I trade, like in RTWay right now, which, you know, who knows how it's doing, this, you know, I got in here. Well, why did I get here? I got in here because that's where S3 was, right? And we had a large volume spike on the sell side, and then we offered weekly down to S3. So this is what I'm looking for a bot, right? We found stopping volume, and then we did a weak volume offer down to S3, and then someone bought S3. So for me, like that's a good, now the volume itself, look, it reads very mixed, right? So this is kind of balanced right now, which is why this isn't working so well for me, right? Look down here. Anytime we're above it, there's a green one, there's a red one, there's a green one, there's a green one, 2 red ones, and a green one, right? So this bad boy's choppy, right? So it is what it is. So, but yeah, the VPA indicator is not yet available. That one is proprietary to me, and it's I made it up. I honestly don't know if I feel comfortable giving it to people yet, if that makes sense. The cam system, I traded with my cam system for a half a decade before we built this indicator, right? So when I built this indicator, I built it after you know, going through 3 or 4 market cycles, right? And you know, personally using it and making money with it enough to pay all my bills, right? You know, every single day for a very long time, right? So I felt comfortable. This VPA indicator is literally something I thought up while I was out for a run one day, right? So, but it works. Like, I love it. I mean, it's amazing. But it's one of those things I'm a little more cautious about, you know, sharing, because my fear being you start making decisions on it and then we learn later it's jacked. How do you identify spoof orders on the book? And can you talk more about how you see red order lines? Yeah, so spoof orders, so when you're saying spoofs, for those of people who don't know what a spoof is, it's the same thing as an NITF or a no intention to fill order. Most spoof orders are manipulative, right? So the other day we were actually on YouTube. I think this was last Friday. And we actually witnessed a manipulation occur, an institutional manipulation occur. And basically what happened was we had a large order to the downside. And then the price started going away from that order. And then you saw an order pop here. And then as the price started to come towards the order disappeared and popped down here. The algorithm ran for it. It disappeared. It popped here. It did that. And they basically just breadcrumbed the algorithm all the way back down to the big order. Right? The algorithm, since there wasn't any buying volume, it was looking for a buyer. It was trying to entice buying. So he manipulated the algorithm by offering it nearby buying. And every time it got lower, he offered nearby buying. Every time it got lower, he offered nearby buying. Now on the order book, we could actually watch this spoof happen. I mean, you actually saw like an order down here, like come up here. And as it got close, you'd see it come off and then it popped here and then it popped here, right? It was really fun to watch it and to see it happen live. Nathan and I were both watching it. We really we're really excited. If you go to my Instagram, Captain Vim, there's a link on my IG to all of my available indicators. And all of them, except for ghost candles, have been coded by BruzzX. So if you look for the developer BruzzX, you will find them. Hey, John Detweiler, welcome to Lambos and Garbage Trucks. We're so happy to have you. Not only does this ensure you get some additional premium attention, it also makes you cooler than everybody who's not a member of Lambos and Garbage Trucks, which I think is the main reason to be a member. I mean, why not just take the free social cred? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. So welcome so much. We're so glad to have you with us. And if you need anything, let me know. I'll give you special attention. Let's see. So the easiest way to identify spoofs, humorous, is to no intention to fill, an ITF. So the easiest way is to spot spoof orders is to look for orders that are being moved up and down the book and pulled away as price gets near them. It is some people will say, oh, look at this big order way out here. That's a no intention to fill order. That is not a no intention to fill order. That's a sell order, a real honest limit sell order, right? This would be like someone putting out a real estate sign in their front yard, for sale, right? 4S, for sale, right? If someone's willing to buy their house at over market value, they'll be more than happy to sell it. Thor Young BBT is my IG handle, at Thor Young BBT. So someone will definitely be more than happy to sell here, right? So this is not an NITF, right? These are not NITFs. NITFs are actually very rare. Most orders on the book are orders that have an intention to fill, and people just change their minds, right? But there is the occasion, like we witnessed on Friday, of a clean and clear effort to manipulate the book, right? Which, again, prove it, right? Good luck proving that that's what that person was thinking when they did it. The person can just feign ignorance, you know what I mean? It's just like not really a thing you're ever going to be able to do. But the entity that was doing that was rocking some real volume. I mean, they were pulling the orders down with, close to I think at one point it was like 50 or 60,000 shares of the ticker we were watching. It was pretty amazing. Could you please explain how to properly draw support and resistance lines, including extended levels such as S3 or S4? Well, so my S3 and my S4s are all calculated by a system. You can't, I would not recommend trying to manually draw S levels. You need to have a platform to do it for you. It's a very complicated calculation. It's a math equation that you have to calculate for each level. So you're talking about multiple mathematical equations you'd have to computate every single morning on every single ticker and then draw them in. So I would not recommend doing that. I would at worst, I mean, TradingView is a very inexpensive platform. DOS is an amazingly fast platform. It has cams. Thinkorswim has cams. Ninja has cams. Like all the platforms have a version of cams. I would recommend utilizing those and not drawing them. So now proper support and resistance lines. Why don't I just talk to you about premium, value, and discount? And I'm using Chrome right now. That's a good point. Maybe you know what? I like your style. Hold on, let's look at that. That totally triggered my ADHD. Let's see how it runs on Brave. Brave is a very lean platform. It runs browser. It runs very fast. All right, so aggregating 5 levels, 100 milliseconds. I want 1,000 periods. Look how bullish NVIDIA looks right here. Oh, the bubbles look better. Cool. Good idea. Orange JI. That was a great idea. You're smart. T Chad, maybe we could do a session. How about like next Tuesday? T Chad, we could do a technical Tuesday. Like we could literally just work together. Everyone in the chat, we'll all work together. and just go through different settings, different things we want to look. Man, I love the way this looks in Brave. Wow. Let's look at some more tickers. Hold on. Let's look at like Amazon. Yeah, let's do Tuesday, Technical Tuesday. Let's just make that like a thing. You know what I mean? And don't forget, speaking of Tuesdays, right? We have a really special guest coming soon. Everyone, did you mark your calendars? Do you know who I'm talking about? Right? October 7th. Right? The Alpha Mind. A new podcast was just released of him interviewing Linda. I forgot how to say her name. It's like Rashke or something like that. But really, I mean, really prolific trading coach. Been around for a really long time. Oh, look at RTY. Come on, let's go. So you're saying there's a chance. Tesla book? Oh my God, I love this. This is great on Brave. I highly recommend Brave browser. Oh, I can't wait till we have futures. So we have a really large order up at, I mean, a really big order, 12,400 plus shares at $455. I'm sorry, can my ADHD just feel fulfilled right now? Did anyone like see how like happy Andrew was using Atlas? Oh, look at this big order that just came in on Tesla. Look at this big guy. This is what they're after right now. They're after this guy right here. Maybe I need to aggregate bigger so I can see more orders. If I aggregate more and then I take my sensitivity up like that. Ooh, that's nice. All right, look, they just ate the order at 252. And now watch them let's see how they brought in this seller here. Look at this. Now they're going down to get this one. Ah! That's awesome. Man, I love that dude too, man. I gotta give him some credit. Man, wow. This thing is great. I just love seeing how happy Andrew was using the visual order book like this. I talked the prophet of profit, Brian Pesam, into using Bookmap years ago, a couple years ago, and he's been crushing with it, as have I. So actually seeing Andrew make that transition into using a visual order book, I mean, it's pretty amazing. And I mean, have you guys seen his past couple of, I mean, the dude made like 20 grand today. Didn't he make like 20 grand or something like that today? I mean, it's amazing. So now Atlas, right, is a beta product, right? We are building this for our community, right? Andrew, you know, we're all very interested. This is why I built this trading view indicator. This is why Andrew's building Atlas and Trading Terminal, right? We are constantly working to try and bring the latest and greatest of everything. No, TradingView has a horrible order book, Thorin. I don't use it. Right? We always are trying to bring the latest and the greatest technology to everybody. Right? So that's the goal here. And and I think Andrew's our cue for that. But I mean, having a visual order book that works like this and then seeing Andrew just crushing with it was amazing. So now Bookmap has been around for quite a while, right? So, but there's some inherent downfalls to Bookmap. First off, I love that this is browser based, right? So if you have a Mac, right, you have a cell phone, right, you can pull this up, right? You can run this on any of those. That's amazing, right? I mean, come on. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So this is Trading Terminal here. So it's not as good as, it doesn't have all the features Bookmap has yet, but we wanted to make sure it had the core ones. Still a really big order on Tesla sitting up here. That's very interesting. But right now our ladder structure is much better to the downside on Tesla. Adios. Good hanging with you, Rogelio. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, I know the Apple call was so good. I can't believe I didn't take it. But maybe RTY. You can see I kind of went soft on this one, Uzi. Only one full-size contract of RTY is a pretty weak position for me. I normally trade 2 to 3 contracts of this one, but I didn't want to risk more than like a couple $100 on this one. You know what I mean? So I'm a little bit over an R right now. You know what I mean? Sitting at, if this, or I'm a little over like, a little over like a 1.5 R or something right there. I just didn't feel confident enough because we were selling quite a bit when I got into this one. So I just didn't feel confident getting as heavy as I normally do on this. I still don't. Like, we're not really like moving. You know what I mean? The other thing I like about Atlas is you can actually read the cues a little bit better on Atlas. I find the cues very difficult to read on Bookmap, but here, like, the cues to me are actually looking fairly bullish right now, at least, a little bit to the top side. There's a gap in price till right here. So we're seeing lots of buying and the selling is not being applied to the order book. I want remind me when we have some time, I want to talk to you all a little bit about how the market maker moves price without changing their average. Just a new thing. Oh my gosh, CL already had a beautiful long today. Is it there again? Oh, it's all the way back down. Wow. So we had a lovely long off of this that was going quite well. It failed. So it's not a long anymore. Now it's dead. The only way I long this one is if it gets down to $60.50. We could look for an LF play, which is an S6 reversal. Maybe. Yeah. It was looking really good at the beginning. Wow. That's such a strong candle too. And now we're just doing this really weak reoffering back to the downside. But now it's selling. I mean, look at our rolling. We've gone red. See, like remember what I said? Look at the blue line. Any trading volume you have, trading indicator with volume, should have this. It's an ATR or an average, or it's basically just an average volume line. So just look at your average volume and what color are the candles that are sticking above the line more often. It's a really easy way to figure out if we're buying or selling. Right now, we're clearly selling, right? So not saying we're not a buy, but we're not buying, right? So we're, this is one of those ones. Yeah, I was gonna say CL looks like it's losing some kind of a larger time frame. I remember I was looking at this yesterday actually, and it had a really big like trend that was coming up from like the off the monthly or something like that. That was really we're actually going to do an update, by the way, on really key levels. We're going to add monthly high, monthly low, weekly high, and weekly low to that indicator. So for anyone who likes to have your monthlies drawn. Oh, come on, RTY. Why you gotta do me like this? This is gonna be like, what was it, like 2 days ago? We chopped like all day on the ES. And then finally at like 3 o'clock, the dang thing made a full range run or something. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Nvidia looks bullish to me right now. Let's see. We have a lot of orders stacked to the top side. We have one really big order to the downside. Most of our orders are to the top side. Now the market doesn't seem convinced. So we've been trying to sustain this higher range, and we're not doing a very good job of it. And we're getting a lot of selling right now. We've almost completely negated our opening candle volume-wise. So I'm not really keen on longing this one with it selling as much as it is. I would want to see like some kind of an ignition and then a reoffer to R4 on light volume for like an ABCD, like a breakup. But right now we do look bullish. It looks like the intention is to go up, but we don't have enough volume. So we can't. Okay, Tony, I can look at those. I did not get the alert from TradingView at 3 a.m., but that's because I turn my alerts off at night so I can sleep. Keep it green, Inti. Tesla again? Let's look at it. Its biggest orders are still to the downside. So it still continues to look fairly bearish in the book. Its VPA right now reads as a fairly firm sell. So for me, I'd be looking for directional movement to the downside. I think we're gonna sell more. I think we're gonna be at 447 here pretty soon. Yep. Yeah, mad props. Absolutely. That's correct. Cha-ching. What did Apple do? Oh, wow. It's all the way up here. Dang. Apple was already a glorious S3 buy. It's reasonable to think it could give a good R4 rejection. This is our pre-market high as well. So we found a seller in pre-market here. There goes Tesla. See what I say? Boom. Apple's very bullish. So look how bullish Apple is right now. Right? All of its orders. So Apple is not a short right now. So it's in the right spot, right? That's true. But it's not selling. Look, look how strong we bought. Bam, bam, bam. And then that offer back was very weak. It's not like we found a seller. This is an ABCD. This is a weak volume reoffer. This is advancing pattern volume-wise, right? There we go. I'm saying we're looking for a seller. So if we're going to find a seller, they're going to have to front run, but I don't know why they would abandon this large order. I would have a lot of trouble going short here, although it could, yeah. I would want to see a really strong sell, big red candle with a lot of volume on it, and then watch it pull back. And if it pulls back on weak volume, that would be a good signal. So let's analyze this one and see what we can see if it gives us a good idea. Yeah, that's already on the development notes, BH. We've already got a couple things we're asking for. One is to not have this as a top bar, but have it as a sidebar. That way you don't have to like squish everything in order to, to still do your settings. And then another one is to be able to actually save a default setting, right? So we've got a lot of little things we're asking for. So that's some pretty solid selling there. So notice our session and our user is still very low. So that's some really good set. This might be a solid reversal setup. I just wish the order book wasn't so stinking bullish. But I mean, we might just be fading. We fade bullish books all the time because there's not enough volume. I wasn't going to even open my DOS today again. There's our sell. Look at that. That's pretty. So there's our sell. So this is setting a nice little isolated pivot. So this is the reoffer I'm talking about. Right? I want to see this reoffer. This needs to be weak. Right? If this pushes back up to the top side, this can't have a lot of volume on it. If it's big and strong like one of these guys, we're going to let it go. We want this thing to be really weak. But if it's really weak, we're going to show that we don't have enough interest to buy these big orders, and we'll fade them. That is very weak. The big order is sitting at 258. That's a bit wide. So you would just run the high, basically. Like maybe, oh, I guess 258 is the top of the box. I'm starting to like this setup quite a bit. So it would be a short here. The target would be a full range run back to the downside. So it'd be looking like a 254. We're still a little strong on the buy. And our order book is still, I would like to see some larger orders start coming into the downside now. Right? Like let's see if we can see this book flip. Right? So you can see here. Oh, there they were. Put them back on there. I saw you. We are starting to get some orders that are starting to come into the downside. Right? You can see them starting to light up down here. We got like 12, there they are. 12,000, 735, 6,000, 4,000. We're definitely getting some solid bids into the downside that are starting to come in. It's because of the 40 tiers. Hold on. What if I aggregate it 50? That's going to be a little crazy. Yeah. That aggregation really just doesn't work. All right, here comes our weaker reoffer. Yeah, well, it's the sensitivity probably. Hold on. Let me see. The problem is it's I'm aggregating 5 levels, right? And it's at 40 bid asks. So as we were going up and down, we were moving away from 40. So look at that right there. That's really pretty. This is really interesting looking. RTY just continuing to be a complete pain in the butt. But look at it. Look at this hard sell right here. We reoffered it and bought through it though. If I was going to take my stop on Apple, my stop would either be above high a day or above, let me show you. I would put it in one of two places, and it just depends on what type of trade you're running. I like running day trades, so really long held positions. So if I was going to go short, I'd probably go short like basically anywhere right around where we are right now. Right? And my stop would be above 258. If you're being a little more aggressive, you can put your stop right above the high. I mean, in theory, it's a higher, wider range. They really shouldn't go through it. So an aggressive position would be right above the high. A little less aggressive would be the other direction. You know, would just be above the box. I don't have any Russell. Can I explain ghost candles? I sure can. I thought you'd never ask. So ghost candles for me are, oh, and no, I just saw the Atlas question. IWM, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. So ghost candles are VPA candles, basically, right? So when we talk about price analysis, you're talking about candle patterns, right? Price-based analysis is just if every candle is let's say this is a 1 minute. So if every 1 minute candle is a exhibition of premium value and discount, right? VPA allows us to see what kind of volume we get when we're in these varied areas, right? So sometimes there's a reversal. Well, I don't know why my pattern didn't work. Well, your pattern didn't work because there wasn't enough volume, right? The volume creates the patterns, not the other way around. Now, certain pattern creation does generate price action, right? So that can create volume. So it is kind of a chicken and the egg there. But for the most part, the pattern is the after effect, which is why pattern trading can be inherently complicated, because you really have to kind of become really good at anticipating what might happen and then become very quick at responding to what does happen, right? So you got to be really agile to be a good pattern trader, right? So for me, for ghost candles, what I did is I kind of invented a new type of candle, which it hollows the candles out based upon how much volume is there. Right. So you have a big sell here candle, right? That's a very strong sell, lots of volume. So it's very dark. Right. So you can kind of see here, right? If you're looking at this average line, right, there's been more selling than buying. But what's also important is where the selling occurs, right? The selling is happening off of premium back into discount. So there's a buyer that's sitting in here taking these orders, right? We're selling into the top, right? We're not. So if we were coming up here and selling higher, or even taking in sells way down here, I'd be a little bit more interested. But having it sell where it's supposed to sell, that's not so bad, right? I do agree that actually I think IWM actually looks a little bearish right now. So there's a order at 241 that I think is by far the most predominant order on the book. Right. So I would not be surprised. I'm not surprised, but we haven't had sell volume. Right. So I have enough time. Let me talk about this. is just to make sure, give me a number one or a hands up. Actually, let me do it the other way. Give me a number one or a hands up if you do not know what float is. Is anyone in here unaware of what float is when referring to stocks? Okay, I only needed one person. So float is defined as the number of shares that are outstanding or floating around in the market, right? This is why it's called the float, right? Because it's the number of shares that are floating around in the market. Now, there is only one entity, bar a couple of rare exceptions. There is only one entity out there or a trader classification that is allowed to hold shares without putting them into a portfolio or declaring them, right? And that entity is specialists, right? Market makers. Only specialists and market makers are allowed to hold inventory over extended periods of time without it being an investment, right? So one of the reasons why, as Bim is pointing out, one of our Garbage Trucks and Lambos members, right, low float equals large price swings, and that is because there are no specialists holding shares. So imagine that the specialist is a barge, right? The specialist carries an inventory, and we're going to call it inventory, not a portfolio, right? Because we're not investing here, right? This inventory has a purpose, and that purpose is for the exchange of shares, right? So they're carrying an inventory, and all of the specialists combined out there, bar a few others, that inventory is what comprises the overall float, right? So when the market maker moves up and down through the price, the way they move through the price is actually quite interesting, right? Market makers do not move the price. We do. Say that again. Market makers do not move the price. We do, right? The price cannot move unless somebody buys or sells. The market maker cannot buy or sell to themselves, right? So they need a seller that's at a limit order, and then they need market buy orders in order to move up the limit orders to the top side. A market maker cannot fulfill a top side limit order without a market level buy order and to fulfill it with. So the main thing you're paying attention to when you're watching using VPA and other signals is you're actually looking to see what the market maker does with the order volume, right? So let's say you have the market maker wants to go up. If the market maker wants to go up, anytime you see sell orders, the market maker will take those sell orders and put them into their inventory, right? So they will accumulate the sell orders, right? And then any buy orders that come in, the market maker will apply those buy orders to the DOM, right? The buy orders are put to the DOM. So anytime someone buys, they use those buys to fulfill the limit sell orders to the top side, and this lifts the price, right? The market maker or the specialists themselves are actually virtually and almost completely unresponsive or responsive for price movement at all. It's us, right? So we can, this is how a market maker can fulfill orders without increasing their average. How did the market maker buy $100 and then buy $101? Well, they didn't. The market makers bought under $100 and then allowed the market to buy the other orders, right? And then as we popped through those orders and came back down, they would distribute any sell orders and accumulate the buys, and that drops us down, right? So if a market maker wants to go down, all they start doing is they start inventorying buy orders and distributing sell orders. And this is how we move. So if you can get in tune and in touch with watching what the algorithm does with the orders that are coming in. So look here, as we've been moving up, anytime we get a large sell, right, we didn't engulf. We engulfed here, but we engulfed in an area where we had bought before, right? Look, we bought. Anytime we're here, we're buying, we're buying, we're buying. We sold hard into a bot. Right? Now, if this sell had happened under this buy, that would have been a different story. Right? But it didn't. It happened on a buyer, right? They're distributing into a buyer. And now they're letting the book move up. Right? Look how low the volume is as they move up. They're just taking any buy orders right now and allowing those buy orders to go to the DOM. Anytime a sell order comes in, now they're sucking up the orders. Right? So it looks like as of right now, and you can see now, look, our rolling average has gone from red to green. So we are officially buying now. Neat, right? Risk management is significantly less complicated when you start picking the right direction. And the easiest way to pick the direction is to pay attention to what the specialists are doing. Stop guessing. You know what I mean? You have a strategy and then wait for them to start buying. Not bad. I would if I'd have gone 2 contracts on this one and put my stop in tighter, I'd be at a target already. Good trade. This is going to be the moment of truth right here. Okay. All right. So now everybody ready for a moment of truth? Look where we are. This is a nasty spot for me, right? Let's use a real box off of TV. So we can really watch this thing. Where's my box? Oh, I'll just do 2 horizontal lines. Right there and right there. Oh, actually, sorry. This one's going to be right here. I'm picking this because of the reoffer. And I'm picking this one because of the test, and then the break. So these are going to be very, very consequential levels for me, right? We're getting into the central pivot, previous day's close, and we're back into this, this really obvious spot where, a key inflection, right? Or a pivot level. So far, all of the buying's been put to the DOM, but look, we're running out of orders. And we're getting a lot of orders to the downside. So as long as we don't start selling, I'll be okay. But if you start seeing red dots that start moving towards these orders down here, things will get sketchy pretty fast. Gar, I do have that stuff in BBT, but I'm happy to talk about it as many times as you need here also. So just let me know what you need. I figured, like I was announcing to everybody, other than the occasional podcaster, I'm gonna start doing what I call technical Tuesdays, right? So on Mondays, normally I'm gonna have Nathan on, so we'll do like Bookmap not Bookmap, Atlas. We're gonna start doing order book reading on Mondays, so order book and VPA on Mondays, technical Tuesdays. So we can talk about cams, chart configurations, whatever you want there, right? Market making can go into any of those days. Wednesdays are psychology, right? We have Dr. V every Wednesday. So we'll do psychology on Wednesdays. Thursdays are Thursdays. So, or AMA basically. And then Fridays, I normally have Nathan back in again on Fridays to round out. And normally we talk about options more on Fridays. So we'll talk about things like, again, we'll be looking at Market Atlas, but we'll also be bringing in, Spot Gamma and stuff like that. And every now and again, we're going to have Spot Gamma, JT from Spot Gamma will come by. We have them scheduled once a month right now for the next couple of months to come by and talk about options and spot stuff. So good stuff. So I hope you guys guys and gals all really enjoy the lineup. I got Stephen Goldstein coming on in like a couple, like I said, on the 7th. So next, I think it's 2 Tuesdays from, hold on. let me see here. Make sure you're paying attention to that. So we have them on the 7th. And so the 7th is next Tuesday, right? So make sure you're here next week on Tuesday because it's going to be incredible. Also, if y'all could do me a favor, I did share on my Twitter and on my Instagram that he's going to be on with us. So I would certainly love it if y'all would interact with that post and share it. I'd really appreciate that. So thank you. Also, for a little house cleaning work, if you haven't, oh, what did you hit, Humorous? Oh, it was Amazon? Oh, wow. Good for you, buddy. What a lovely, look at this beautiful call out. What a beautiful call out on this cam system. And what a beautiful trade, Humorous. The thing is the system doesn't work, my friend, if you're not appropriately pulling the triggers. You know what I mean? So massive kudos to you. For everybody in the room, like, subscribe, share, and while you're doing that, let's give a little hands up to our dude Humorous here for an incredibly well executed trade. S3 to R3 hit. You know, on your R4R, you know, full target. That's what we call that, full target on an S3 to R3, right? So really lovely trading, my friend. That's what we're looking for. Make that big money, and you know, that way when we get together, you can buy me a drink, you know, because that's the only thing that's appropriate with the amount of money you're doing. So I hope everybody here enjoys the rest of your trading day. I will be back on tomorrow as always. We'll have our guy Nathan on. I really appreciate you. Much love to everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Keep it green, and I'll talk to you soon.